To install many, many more across this community.
Find out how bus shelters across the city are being improved at streetsla.lacity.org. From bus shelter glow-ups to making improvements elsewhere, Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez wants Angelenos to give their evaluations to the Department of Rec and Parks. That feedback will help to assess future needs for city parks.
Welcome. Thank you all for being here. What is a really important opportunity for our community. Today we're at Lakeview Terrace Rec Center, where we are engaging in the park needs assessment, something that I fought for while I was on the Budget and Finance Committee, because I want Angelenos to be able to give direct feedback to the City of Los Angeles about their priorities and needs for their local parks.
Olan is a landscape architecture planning and urban design firm, and we're supporting the city this year in the parks needs assessments. As a consultant, we help survey the community, to help do drawings, to help provide clarity, and to bring all of this data from the community engagement together to really help form a vision for the next 25 years under the direction of the Department of Rec and Parks.
Really what we've been hearing is that people really want to see a lot of unprogrammed spaces to do recreational activities. They want to see the department focus on things like festivals, so the community has places to gather. So really what we want to do as a part of our second phase of outreach is to talk more about those types of amenities and things that they'd like to see in their park system. Because again, for the next 25 years, we're really setting the standard for what we want to do. So we want a park system that reflects what we're hearing from the community, but also what we think they want to do going forward into the future.
We have a team, 13 different firms that are working to help the city on this under our leadership, and all of them are coming together with different knowledge sets and different expertise. So we have people that are experts at water, we have people that are experts at equity, we have people that are experts around public art, we have people that are experts around stormwater. And when that is coming together, we're able to map around the city where different priorities really show up. It's really great data, but then when we support it with what we're hearing directly from the community, I think that's where it's most interesting.
Everyone comes to their parks for different reasons. Some might come for youth recreational sports, some might come for childcare. So there's a number of needs that need to be met at our parks facilities, and we want to encourage families to be able to give their input so that we design a system that works for them. It's really important for people to be able to voice their concerns, and this is giving them that space, and for us to prioritize the funding so that we can invest in those improvements.
It's a college signing day celebration that means a bit more. Many students at this event are the first in their families to go to college, so the Community Investment for Families Department is adding some support into the festivities.
We're thrilled to celebrate our second annual College Signing Day, brought to you by the Community Investment for Families Department in partnership with the Youth Development Department. In our network of Family Source Centers, we have 19 centers throughout the city, and one of our signature programs within the Family Source system is the College Corner program. The College Corner program helps young people apply for college. They help them apply for financial aid, they organize campus visits, and they do so much more to encourage not just the students but their families to pursue a post-secondary education.
I am the first in my family and the first out of 3 siblings to go to university, and the university that I will be attending is Yale University.
The College Corner program is a program that is available to any student that resides in the city of Los Angeles. So that is really the only criteria. It's open to every student, and we want more students to take advantage of these resources.
I'm here to celebrate my enrollment at Cal State Long Beach. I didn't feel confident in where I was gonna go, but they helped me a lot. I've gotten more help than I feel like I deserve.
Today we gathered with over 200 students, and they are attending some of the top universities, not just in the state of California, but we have students that will be enrolled at Yale University, at all of our top universities in California, such as UCLA, our Cal State system, our community colleges. So we're just so excited and thrilled to continue to support them as they move into this next chapter.
I'm really looking forward to be able to go and explore a new environment, new people, new culture, everything, and just be able to grow alongside so many people who aspire to learn and do something and change the world for the better.
Today, we also announced the creation of a new scholarship program, the Olivia Mitchell Scholarship Program, and we awarded them with $500 each to help support them in their college journey. We are sending a strong message to all of the families that we're here. We're here to support them, and we want them to break through all of the glass ceilings and be able to accomplish all of their goals and aspirations. To learn more about the Family Source system, we encourage people to visit our website.
Mayor Bass, Councilwoman Katie Yaroslavsky, and volunteers all got busy at the recent AAPI Day of Service. With LA hosting major events in the coming years, volunteering to do good has the extra benefit of showing the city in a positive light.
You ready to go out and beautify our city?
So we're here at one of 10 locations across the city for Shine LA, which is a community beautification effort. So we're here in Koreatown with a bunch of volunteers from across the community to help clean it up and make it beautiful.
I want you to know this gathering here, this is not the only one. Throughout the city of Los Angeles today, over 1,000 Angelinos are participating in the Shine LA Day of Service.
We need to get Angelinos in every neighborhood involved in beautifying our neighborhoods and preparing for major global events that are just around the corner.
Shine LA is the mayor's program to emphasize cleaning Los Angeles and getting ready for all these international visitors that we are expecting in 26, 27, 28, culminating in the Olympic and Paralympic Games. So we're here to basically get our house ready, because when you expect company, you clean.
And one thing that is especially inspiring to me is to see so many young people here. And I hope this is the beginning of a lifetime of service.
Reach out to us if you have ideas on projects you want to work on. We're literally the thing that connects this neighborhood to City Hall.
We've all been living in this community for almost like our entire lives, so we want to beautify our community and where we reside in. People definitely turned out. They turned out, and they turned out with their attitude and their energy, and I'm definitely excited to be here. I feel like the community definitely benefits from this, and you can tell the heart is there.
So across the city, there are going to be events like this on a regular basis going forward for the next few years. We hope people come out, get involved. You can check out the website for Shine LA and figure out how to get involved in your own community.
Every one of our neighborhoods deserve to shine.
LA Public Library has online resources for immigrants and new citizens, city support for downtown businesses impacted by protests, and a new relief fund for disaster survivors. These stories up next on City Beat.
The Los Angeles Public Library has a number of Know Your Rights resources available online. Everyone in the U.S. is protected by certain rights under the Constitution, and according to the LA Public Library, knowing those rights can make a difference. Know Your Rights resources include emergency family preparedness, immigration options, rapid response phone numbers for LA, and the Know Your Rights card. The library's Know Your Rights card is available to everyone online in 23 different languages. For more information, click on the Know Your Rights banner at lapl.org. Mayor Karen Bass announced that resources would be immediately available to support downtown businesses impacted by protests in the city. The Mayor's Office for Economic Development, Councilmember Isabel Jurado, and the city's Economic and Workforce Development Department are providing help online. Impacted businesses can join webinars to learn more about assistance, including graffiti removal, legal aid, and employment support. According to Jurado, local businesses are the backbone of downtown LA, and the council member's office will support them through every challenge. For more, visit mayor.lacity.gov/press. Following the devastating wildfires in January, LA City's Housing Authority, HACLA, wants to let Angelenos know of a new source of relief for disaster survivors. CalAssist Mortgage Fund is a new relief program from the state of California, which will support homeowners impacted by disasters between January 2023 and January 2025. The CalAssist Mortgage Fund will cover eligible homeowners for 3 months of mortgage payments up to $20,000. Before applying, review the list of qualified disasters for this program, confirm the income limits, and check that your mortgage servicer is participating. For more information, visit calassistmortgagefund.org.
LA Sanitation hosted its ever-popular open house events this year. These are more than a simple open house, as the trash trucks are open to kids taking on the controls. It's hands-on learning at its best.
Well, today we're having our North Central Open House. This is an opportunity for our LA San employees to volunteer their time and engage with the community.
Crush it! Yes, and then we're gonna make a nice little ball out of it.
And educate them on a lot of our programs, like our organics program, our recycling programs. We really want to engage with the residents so that they understand the value in recycling. We have one earth, we have limited resources, and your actions as a resident of sorting your trash and making sure it's properly put in the bins allows us to convert those commodities into useful products and save the earth.
So here in the City of Angels, it is so important for us to sort our trash properly, to understand the recycling rules and the organics rules, to make sure that we're calling in our bulky item requests so that we're not leaving furniture sitting on the curb. LA San will come and pick it up for free. You just have to call us at 1-800-773-2489. You call, we'll haul.
He is in love with garbage trucks. All the kids love garbage trucks.
Are we ready to go?
What I love most about these events is all the families that come here and get to explore the trash trucks. Kids love trash trucks. So they come, they get in the trucks, they operate the controls, they honk the horns. Then they get into another truck where they can actually take a ride around the yard, and they just have a blast. It's a great photo opportunity. And after that, they walk through all of our educational booths and learn all about sustainability tips that they can implement in their own homes.
Our goal here is to make sure that our residents know the value of what we do every day. Sanitation's out there collecting recyclables, organics, and trash for 750,000 residents and over 6,000 tons of materials, and making sure that that is reused and put back to use in our communities. A lot of people don't see us every day, but that we are the ones behind the scenes protecting the environment.
For more information, please visit our website at lacitysan.org.
Senior prom is on the social calendar for older Angelenos who look forward to the dancing and the community gathering. It all takes place thanks to volunteers, St. Barnabas, Senior Services, and LA City's Department of Aging.
The participants today at the senior prom are older adults from across Los Angeles. It's really an opportunity for us to bring together different cultures, different people, to enjoy a day of fun, frivolity, and good food.
I like to see older people enjoy themselves because I enjoy myself. I entertain them, so they, I kind of bring them out. So they do a little try too, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
So I really hope today that the older adults, the volunteers, everyone that's here walks away with a new appreciation of different cultures, of fun experience, activities, dancing, and just a great time.
Good food and good entertainment. They have a picture taking. We didn't have to pay for it. They have lunch. We didn't have to pay for it. And then they bring a lot of stuff to offer us.
I was so excited to be part of this event because it really brought together not only staff, older adults and caregivers, but also volunteers from across Los Angeles to really make an impact in people's lives. And it was so inspiring and has been such a rewarding experience.
Feels good because we need more things for us older people.
So the senior prom was brought together through not only donations from companies, individuals, but also through funding from the Department of Aging and the City of Los Angeles. We're really honored to have the General Manager, Jaime Pacheco, attend, and also Councilperson Nithya Raman. Their support made this possible and made this event a real success.
Beautiful people, nice to see everybody happy.
So my favorite part of prom really has been seeing everybody dressing up, having a good time, and dancing. I love to dance myself. It might seem like it's just a dance, but for them, it's something they look forward to all year long.
So come out and enjoy yourself. To see what it's like, you will love it. I love it.
The lights behind the marquee are a distinct beacon on Lancashire Boulevard. Behind the scenes, this Department of Cultural Affairs Center is supporting performing arts in the community with a dance studio and an intimate theater space inside.
The Lancashire Arts Center was constructed in 1939. When it was opened in 1939, it was originally a LA Department of Water and Power building. The city of LA became the owner of the Lancashire Arts Center when it was declared as a historical cultural monument. On the plaque, its purpose was that it is an example of adaptive reuse. The front building is actually an example of streamlined modern design. And then if you come here after, I think it's like 5 or 6 o'clock, there's like lighting panels that will turn on, and then you get to see the full kind of marquee of the Lancashire Arts Center. We host a bevy of productions, be it dance productions, music productions. Sometimes we'll have a film screening, art. I think that sort of flexibility is something that brings me back every time. The theater is very intimate here. It really feels like you're just right up in front of the talent when you come watch a show here. We also do youth programming here. We work with different local artists to be able to provide free programming for children to learn how to sew. We have a fashion class. We have music classes specifically for percussion and drums. We also have another music class for piano. And then we also have a dance studio. It's in our mezzanine. That is for our dance class that we have here. Our mission here is just to grow the performing arts, really. So whether it be someone trying to bring out their own original productions, or like sometimes we even have different groups come in to teach after-school classes. Being able to grow the performing arts in a community is what makes Lancashire Arts Center stand out. The city investing into places like this is because it gives a place for people that were not as confident the ability to express themselves, and give a space for people that are a little bit different, another space to play, because being able to play is so important just for our mental health as well as for the health of the community, and it just makes the world a better place. We look forward to having you here at Lancashire Arts Center, whether it be taking part in our free programming as well as being able to come and just watch a movie or watch a show. We look forward to having you over here. On Instagram, our Instagram handle is DCA_LNK. You can also find out more about us on culture.lacity.gov. That's our website.
In this week's Things to Do, get down to some free summer sounds at Levitt Pavilion, enjoy some tribute acts on July 4th and beyond, and catch LA master artists' work at COLA 2025. All this up next on Things to Do.
Calling all music lovers, join Levitt LA for 10 free summer concerts at MacArthur Park. Each Saturday in summer, Levitt Pavilion welcomes a new sound to the stage. Enjoy Latin soul, jazz fusion, Afro beats, and the sounds of Central America, along with electric rock and punk. Levitt Pavilion is the place to get your global groove on with something for everyone. These free concerts are supported by the City Departments of Cultural Affairs and Recreation and Parks, and are sponsored by Council Member Eunices Hernandez. See you on the lawn to celebrate music and community each Saturday starting at 7 p.m., except July 5th, as there's no show that day. For more information, visit levittlosangeles.org. Join Council Member Bob Blumenfield for a summer of free events with the Valley Cultural Foundation. The 4th of July extravaganza celebrates the nation's birthday with a free concert and a dazzling 20-minute fireworks display. There will also be food trucks and vendors on site. Up to 40,000 people can be accommodated for this event, so get there early to claim your spot. The concert on July 4th features Strange Days, a tribute to The Doors, with other acts scheduled to perform in Warner Park over the next few weeks of summer. For more details on the 4th of July extravaganza and other free Warner Park events, check the website valleycultural.org. The Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery, LAMAG, presents COLA 2025. This is an exhibition of the city's Department of Cultural Affairs Independent Master Artist of 2025, who share their creative visions on a wide range of themes. 9 LA-based artists in visual, literary, and performing arts will show their works, which include video, painting, sculpture, photography, drawing, and installation. Head to LAMAG at Barnsdall Art Park for COLA 2025 Visual Artist Exhibition from July 17th to August 30th. For more information on gallery hours, visit lamag.org. And that's a look at some things to do.
Please check the websites for any changes to those events. And that's all for this week. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. Remember that you can watch us online anytime at lacityview.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
does it take to move a mountain that no one wants to climb? When they tell you there's no answer, how do you change the heart and mind? Can you face the road to freedom when the past is in your way? In the darkness of the night, the future may be hard to find, but I believe that there's a day. All it takes is one good day. All we need is one good day. And I will find one good day. 'Cause all it takes is
And welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. Today is Friday, the 27th day of June in the year 2025. Public comment for today's meeting will be taken in person in this chamber. Mr. Clerk, let's begin our proceedings by calling the roll.
Yes, Mr. President. Blumenfield, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Jurado, Lee, McAllister, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 13 members present and quorum, Mr. President.
First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of June 25th, 2025.
Councilmember Lee moves. Councilmember Padilla seconds. What's next?
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Jurado moves. Councilmember Hutt seconds. Mr. Clerk, let's run through our agenda for today's meeting.
Mr. President, would council like all items to go forthwith today?
Without objection, that'll be the order.
There's a request to continue item 30 to Tuesday, July 1st, 2025.
Without objection.
Item 1 is an item notice for public hearing.
Hold on. We have an objection. Councilmember Padilla.
I'd like to call item 25 special for questions. And 30, I would like to make a verbal motion to request item 30 be in closed session for Tuesday, July 1st.
All right.
Councilmember, what was the first item that you called special?
25 for questions.
25. Thank you. Mr. President, item 1 is an item notice for public hearing. Items 2 through 30 are items for which public hearings have been held. The financial disclosure statement for item 13 has been submitted and is available online in Council File number 23-1200-S112. The Planning and Land Use Management Committee reports for items 17 and 18 have been submitted and are available online in the respective council files. The Trade, Travel, and Tourism Committee reports for items 27, 28, and 29 have been submitted and are available online in the respective council files. The financial disclosure statement for item 28 has been submitted and is available online in council file number 24-1200-S71. Item 30 has been continued. Items 31 and 32 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
All right, without objection, those items are before us. Any other specials members? Councilmember Hernandez? No? All right. Any others? Mr. Price?
Thank you, Mr. President. City Attorney has asked me to recuse myself from item 32 because I am a landlord, and I'm going to continue item 6 to Tuesday. Item 6.
And for the record, that would be Tuesday, July 1st, 2025.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Nazarian?
I think the one that I was going to ask for a separate vote has been delayed to next week, item 31. So if that's the case, that's fine. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Jurado?
Council President, I have an amendment for item 32, which should be circulating.
All right. Councilmember?
And for the record, item 31 is still for consideration, if you'd like to call it Councilmember Nazarian.
Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Council President. I'd like to call item 19 special for an amendment on behalf of Councilwoman Rodriguez.
All right. Any other specials members? Councilmember Nazarian.
If that's the case, then for the record, I'd like for a separate vote for item 31. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember Rahman.
I think it was already called special, but I'd just like to make a brief comment before we vote on item 25.
Okay, comments on 25. All right. Any other specials members? All right. What items are available for the council to consider at this time, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 2 through 5, 7 through 18, 20 through 24, and 26 through 29.
All right. Let's open the roll on these items, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
All right. What's next?
Mr. President, the council may now proceed to presentations.
All right. We'll begin this morning's presentations like we've done several mornings for the last few weeks with hearing from reports from districts around the city on the impact of the mobilization of ICE to our city streets and workplaces and medical facilities and schools to do so-called immigration enforcement and reform. And we'll begin with a report from Council District 11.
Thank you, Council President. Over the last few weeks, my team and I have been on the ground all over the West Side, where we have seen significant amounts of ICE activity. We have swarmed communities passing out Know Your Rights information and red cards. We have visited businesses, job centers, rec centers, health clinics, schools, markets, and communities where we know our immigrants live, work, and visit. There's no one there. Yesterday, I was in health clinics and dentist's office in our neighborhood that are often full and vibrant with families and children seeking essential medical care. They're not coming in. We've spoken to our partners that help us address food insecurity on the West Side. And to be clear, the needs in my council district are vast and widespread, just as they are in every district in our city. And people are afraid to come to get the resources that they need. So I'm very honored and privileged to be here this morning with my friend and colleague, Genevieve Rote from the West Side Food Bank. We partner every month to do food distribution in my council district, and she is on the ground every day interacting with these communities. And so I'm honored to have her here with us to share a few words about what she's seeing on the ground and how people are afraid to receive the essential care and supplies that they need to exist in our city. Genevieve, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Councilwoman Park, and thank you all for having me. This moment deserves our full attention, and I hope that I can share some unique insights about what's happening on the ground that you may not otherwise have, or maybe confirm some things that you may have guessed about. Food insecurity in Los Angeles is at 25%, and that number climbs to over 35% for Black and Brown communities, families with children, seniors, immigrants, LGBTQ folks, and low-income households. Too many Angelenos regularly lack access to enough nutritious food, and this crisis is getting worse. During the height of COVID, food insecurity actually dropped, thanks to vital supports like the supplemental child tax credit, stimulus payments, pandemic EBT. But when those programs ended, hunger surged again, fueled by rising costs for food, housing, and other basic needs. For undocumented residents and mixed status families, they didn't qualify for a lot of those programs, and the struggle never let up. And it's been intensified by the recent LA wildfires and fears of immigration enforcement. There's a common misconception that the West Side doesn't have these issues. As CEO of West Side Food Bank and co-chair of the West Side Coalition on Housing, Hunger, and Health, I can tell you that's just not true. We're seeing the same high demand for food and services as the rest of LA. In fact, a recent study conducted on our behalf by RAND showed that there are some neighborhoods on the West Side that actually experience higher food insecurity than the LA average. For over 40 years, West Side Food Bank has provided free nutritious food to anyone in need, and in doing so, we've helped uplift hundreds of thousands of Angelenos. Within a week of the LA fires, local food pantries saw an additional 30% increase in visits. But with reports about the recent ramp up in immigration enforcement, we're seeing sharp declines in some neighborhoods. One site dropped from 150 families served to just 100 last week, because people are afraid to leave their homes, even for much needed free food. Many of the same people who lost jobs in the fires, the nannies, housekeepers, landscapers, restaurant workers, retail clerks, and home care assistants, are now staying home out of fear. We're deeply concerned, especially about children and seniors who will go hungry if we can't get them food. Thanks to partnerships, including with Councilwoman Park and her team, we've been able to provide free mobile markets and emergency and holiday fairs that bring relief in CD11 and beyond. We're working with local community groups and volunteers to provide home delivery of groceries and other essentials to keep families fed and housed, because receiving free food can save families over $300 a month, and that's often the difference between paying rent and losing a home. We've heard from community members, like the two sisters who shared a car to go to work in a Palisades school cafeteria and are now both without income for their families. Or the single mom who took in a fire-displaced family and now they all need food assistance for the first time. The compounding job and income losses from fires and fear of immigration enforcement are sobering. Farmers market operators are reporting early closures, small market store owners and family-owned restaurants are losing business, and missed rent payments threaten to increase homelessness. This is happening in every part of our city, and food insecurity can affect anyone. I myself was a single mom with 3 small children, experiencing both food and housing insecurity when I started working at Westside Food Bank 21 years ago. I know firsthand how programs like CalFresh and food pantries lift families out of poverty as they work to rebuild their lives. As you consider your next steps as a council, I urge you to continue and expand on support for organizations and policies meeting our community's most urgent needs. I look forward to working with each of you in my role at Westside Food Bank and as part of the Westside Coalition and the LA-wide coalition to address hunger. And this is what we do in Los Angeles. We take care of our people in times of need. We did it during COVID, we did it during and after the wildfires, and we're gonna keep doing it through this challenging time and future emergencies with compassion in our hearts and a strong commitment to each other. My name is Genevieve Riatort, and on behalf of Westside Food Bank, I thank you for your attention to these urgent matters.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Councilmember Park.
President.
Thank you. We have 2 more for today, one from Councilmember McAllister and then Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you so much, Councilmember Park, for the example of fanning out in district and being in district and being aware of what's happening and what's not happening. We've done the same in the 1-5 from Watts to the waterfront to make sure that we are informing people of what is happening and sometimes what is not happening. I think it's important to note that sometimes there's information that is inaccurate and it's not helpful to especially our most vulnerable folks. But we have had occurrences in the 1-5, and I was not intending to speak today, but we had something that just got reported this morning. And out of accuracy, I want to make sure that I read a statement. You know I don't typically read a statement, but this morning in Wilmington, 97% Latino community, at the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Figueroa, 3 individuals were detained by what we believe, by our independent analysis, were federal immigration enforcement officers. Those 3 individuals were eating at a local taco stand, which is often there. Witnesses report what appeared to be immigration agents wearing masks and no identifiable uniforms. They were driving westbound on PCH toward the 110 freeway when they abruptly made a U-turn, pulled over, rushed the individuals without warning or identification. The agents did not ask for names or identification of the individuals, did not present a warrant. Based on these observations, and we have been very careful to make sure that we're independently verifying all of this information. This, to me, as a practicing lawyer and Angelino, is an alarming violation of due process rights guaranteed to all people in this country. Yet I know this isn't new. It's not been as common in the 1-5 as it has been in some of your districts. It's not new in Los Angeles. We've also gotten reports immediately this morning of additional raids in Wilmington on PCH. It seems to be focused on PCH. Local businesses, local organizations have all been confirming these incidents, and we are endeavoring to get the names of individuals who have been arrested. My office has been in contact with the families that we can identify of the detained folks at PCH and Figueroa. We're still working on identifying at least 2 other individuals who were taken. If you have information, please contact Chirla's Rapid Response Hotline, who we're working with, and we're all working with, at 888-624-4752, or reach out to our office, and we'll make sure we can connect you to the Rapid Response Network. as we always say in all of our information, and we try to get online and we try to get information out, and I know you all do, we ask folks to be really vigilant. We ask folks to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your neighbors, be aware of your family, have names, have birth dates, have birthplaces, because it's very important for us to be able to send in advocates when folks are detained so that folks can have a right to counsel or a right to advocacy. And really what we're asking here is exactly what we ask of LAPD. And are we perfect? No. We are asking for constitutional policing. We are asking for constitutional processes all around us. We've had the same circumstance where folks are just afraid to come out. We've lost a farmer's market in Wilmington, really had a dire need. And those folks are without a farmer's market because folks are afraid to show up. We have had good folks respond, and I'm here with Yolanda De La Torre, who's here to be confirmed, reconfirmed as a commissioner on the Harbor Commission, but she's also an executive with the YMCA network, and our YMCA that she used to run in Wilmington changed its food bank and now does food deliveries. And so I'm asking everybody, find out where your food banks are and support food deliveries. Folks are afraid to show up, and they need food. They not only need constitutional protections, but they need food, and they need to be able to be safe in their communities. I'm really gratified that Yolanda is here. I'm also gratified that Lee Williams, who is a sitting commissioner, and these are our two local commissioners at the Port of Los Angeles, representing Wilmington and San Pedro and the entire city on that commission, and they stand with us, just as we are asking LAPD to do their jobs and to follow Special Order 40. We are holding Port Police accountable to make sure they are protecting our residents first and foremost, and we'll be introducing a motion here on the council floor to confirm those processes, and I know I will have the support of the two commissioners. Thank you so much, members, for all you do in your communities. The 1-5 has not had as much activity as the other districts, but we're having it now. And just as I stand with you, I know you'll stand with us. We are asking that every single resident in our communities be treated with dignity and respect and the constitutional principles that everyone deserves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Council President and my colleagues, for taking this opportunity to speak about what's happening in our wonderful city, the wonderful region that we know as Los Angeles. And I hope folks can understand the gravity of this situation, because we are experiencing a white nationalist, fascist agenda that is hell-bent on cleansing our city of anyone that looks like many of us here in this room. And we gotta be able to call it, because that's exactly what it is. And I'm very proud to represent the 13th district, that is a diverse neighborhood with large Armenian population. We border Little Bangladesh with Councilmember Hutt, but we also have Central American, Mexican, and I'm very proud to also represent historic Filipino town, which is the largest collection of Filipinos in this region. And with me today, I have a leader who's been at the forefront advocating for the Filipino community for many years. And so I'd like to introduce Aquilina Soriana Versosa, the Executive Director of the Filipino Worker Center, who will give us a testimony about what her organization has been experiencing. Aquilina?
Thank you, and I want to thank the council for continuing to give space to uplift these stories for this ongoing onslaught in our communities. Filipino Worker Center, we are part of the Rapid Response Network, where we are responding to sightings and doing verification of enforcement actions and sightings, and providing and connecting individuals who are impacted and their families to legal resources and support. And we're also a part of the LA Worker Center Network. And I want to share some stories of the impact, especially on workers. There are, unfortunately, Floor, the executive director of Clean, couldn't be here, but there are specific industries that have been left especially vulnerable to these attacks because they occur in spaces that are more public, that are less easy to close doors on. There have been 38 car washes that have been raided since June 6th, and some of them multiple times. 74 car wash workers have been picked up, and customers as well have been picked up. And what has been happening is that the cars, unmarked cars, will roll up quickly into the car washes. Masked individuals who are not identified will come out and start asking people for identifying information, and whether they get the answers or not, pulling people into the cars. On June 8th, car wash workers from the Culver City car wash were abducted by ICE or some of the other federal agencies that are conducting these enforcement operations with ICE. And it took over a week for a lot of those individuals to be identified to see where they are, because you can't find them on the locators, on the detainee locators. And they're being denied access to legal representation and services. Advocates haven't even been able to find them. There are still some of the workers who have not been located yet. The families and advocates cannot find them. And some of them have reported that the conditions are so bad where they're being brought that already 10 of them have decided to sign voluntary departure just to get out of the situation. No beds, no food, no hygiene. Some of them, when they're picked up, lost a shoe, and were in the centers without a shoe. And there is a huge need both for legal assistance to locate them, but then also to actually take their cases. And these are 74 workers that all have families, and these are the breadwinners of their families, so now the families are left in crisis. There is also the ambience workers from the garment apparel district, where 24 garment workers were picked up on June 6th. Many of them were picked up early in the morning on June 6th, and they reported that they remained in the van that they were picked up in until the next day in the morning, without hygiene, without a means of being able to relieve themselves. These are the kind of inhumane situations that workers are being subjected to. And of course, and so this is impacting so many workers. It's impacting their ability to also not only go to work and have a living, but if they're experiencing violations, to be able to speak out about any violations, because the number one issue now is just safety. So many families, even if their workers were not picked up, many businesses are closed down, just as we heard other other clinics and places are closing down. So their families are left without livelihood. So this is an emergency situation, and people are now, many of our own workers who are domestic workers are very afraid to travel. To go to the grocery store. There's been sightings of ICE at Seafood Cities across Southern California, which is a Filipino grocery store. And it's also then making domestic workers who before had more options, choosing live-in situations where they're earning less than legal wages. So we just see a huge need for our community together to stop these illegal detentions, and that it is actually profiling our communities, right? It's bringing militarizing the streets and our communities. This is not just about immigration. This is about profiling our communities and making it hard for us to live our lives no matter immigration status, and really a decimation of our constitutional rights. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, members, for allowing us an opportunity to recognize the horror of this moment and to never forget and look away. Councilmember Padilla has an additional comment. Councilmember?
Hello, colleagues. I want to thank you all for the things that you guys are all saying related to this. Myself today, I am going to be introducing a motion related to all of this because I'm sure some of you guys noticed that on Wednesday, I had to storm out of council. And I stormed out because my community leaders mentioned to me that there was a bunch of ICE agents at Van Nuys Airport. I arrived right on time, and there was about close to 8 vehicles, unmarked, agents inside would not identify themselves, masked up, tinted cars, tinted windows, and none of them could tell me exactly what they were doing there. Got a lot of mixed message from different individuals in management and in leadership within the building. Same thing we're continuing to see, right? Nobody wants to tell us what warrant they're operating under. Nobody wants to tell us what they're trying to do. So today I want to know what the protocol is and what we've been able to do to make sure that even in locations like our airports, we follow our rules, that we are a sanctuary city. We have reason to believe, allegedly, that maybe one of the vendors let them in. So I want to find out what can we do to also tell people who have contracts within our city properties that we don't want them allowing ICE to, stage themselves. We know we don't want that. We know that's not in line with what we want with our sanctuary cities. So we want to figure out what to do. So I hope that you all see the motion and that I can get the support. But this is not easy. This is not easy. This is going to be, I think, one of the longest summers we've ever had. And I also think we, as Mr. McAllister said, pay attention, know your surroundings, reach out to your neighbors, because something tells me that in the midst of what they were trying to tell me they were setting up for, I stayed there a total of about between 3 to 4 hours. Got no answers, was looked at like a crazy woman because I wouldn't leave, but I'm glad that I was there, and I'm glad that I recorded it, and I'm glad that I gave it to our city attorney so that we can use it in our fight, in our litigations that are coming. But it's a lot is still going on, and for our communities that are fighting back, I still want to continue to say, protest peacefully, but it really is about what's going on hyper locally. I never thought we would be in a position where we really have to pay attention to our parking lots, help people with their groceries, help people with laundry. We're in this for hopefully not too long, but thank you all for playing a role. Because while I know that we all know that in each one of our communities, there's people that are vulnerable, that are being targeted. So I hope for your support. And on a positive note, since I'm already up here, I want to welcome, as many of you know, school just ended. So I finally found some time to bring my nephew to the building, Ezekiel. He's excited to be at the government castle that I work at. So I hope that the young kids continue to be our source of inspiration for the Los Angeles that we want. Thank you all.
Thank you, Council Member. And welcome, Ezekiel. I believe he's hiding under the table at this moment. There he is.
Hi, everybody. Say hi.
And thank you, Councilmember Padilla and Councilmember McAllister for both drawing our attention to the fact that we are here acknowledging the horror of this moment. We are here with our staffs trying to assist our communities in the ways that they need, but we have to make sure that every department of the city understands their responsibilities and their roles. There's been a lot of confusion and questions about that, and real questions around accountability, and we must confront those head on. So I'm grateful for all of your partnership and focus. At this time, I want to invite our city attorney, welcome Madam City Attorney, to make a brief announcement before we move to presentations.
Thank you, Council Member, and this is in the nature of just an announcement. This morning, the Supreme Court issued several opinions, one of which is called Trump versus Casa Inc. My office is still in the process of analyzing the opinion, and I expect to be back in closed session to discuss with council what effect this may have on litigation and on pending legislation. But I did want to announce that the decision at first blush appears to be procedural. It stays the effect of the injunction issued by 3 courts on a nationwide basis against the enforcement of the executive order that calls into question birthright citizenship. I would like to publicly thank our Attorney General, Rob Bonta, for having the foresight to add California to the plaintiffs in this litigation. So the injunction issued by the Supreme Court this morning is effective, the injunction issued is effective in California, despite the Supreme Court's opinion of this morning. I would suggest that anyone who relies on birthright for citizenship across our state think carefully before traveling outside the country or outside the state, where they may not enjoy the benefit of the injunction that was issued in one of the cases below. That is my announcement. I will see you again on Tuesday.
Thank you very much, Madam City Attorney. And,
So unfortunately,
yes, so I think it would be useful, I think maybe just a clarification on what is the case, what is the birthright citizenship. I don't think everybody knows necessarily what that term means and how we may or may not be impacted as individuals or our community members.
In his first day in office, or his first week in office, this administration issued a series of executive orders. One of those executive orders was that it is the policy of the United States to not recognize the citizenship of individuals who may have been born in this country, but have 2 parents who were not citizens of the United States at the time of the individual's birth, or who were not lawfully permanent residents of the United States. A number of states, including California, sued the federal administration to get that order stayed so that it did not apply. Every court that considered the order stayed it as probably unconstitutional. The administration appealed that to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court this morning did not decide the underlying issue, so it hasn't decided whether or not the executive order is valid. What the Supreme Court did was it said that federal district courts cannot issue injunctions that protect people who are not before the court. So if, for example, you have 50 states, and I don't have a list of them, I'm sorry, I'm digesting this in real time. I just verified that California is one of them. But if you have 50 states who sued and the injunction applies to 20 of the 50 states, the Supreme Court's decision this morning left the injunction in place. So people in the states who sued can still retain their birthright citizenship, and it is not taken away in California at this point. But I wanted to make the announcement because of the upcoming recess, because of summer, and I wanted everyone to be aware of it in connection with their travel plans.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam City Attorney, and I encourage members who have additional questions to follow up with her office in advance of the next discussion. With that, I believe we can move to our first presentation, and I want to welcome Councilmember Harris Dawson.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We are very, very excited this morning, and especially in the troubling times that we find ourselves in, to recognize Black Music Month. And for this year, in 2025, I don't think there's a more appropriate year for us to especially recognize the particular section of black music that we refer to as gospel music or good news music. I'm excited to be joined by our honoree this morning and a host of family members and supporters, and Councilmember Hutt and Councilmember Price. But before we begin our speeches and our presentation, I want to start us off like we do in so many churches around Los Angeles, around the country. We want to start us off with a very special presentation from the Judy McAllister Tribute Choir. One more time for the Judy McAllister Tribute Choir. We're very excited. I appreciate you all. That was my grandmother's favorite song. So folks, colleagues, members in the gallery, every June we celebrate here as a matter of practice Black Music Month, which was first instituted in the United States in 1979 by Jimmy Carter. And we celebrated it every year up until 2016 when a certain president decided to cancel it. And we kept doing it here in the city of Los Angeles. And it came back during the Biden years. And here we are in 2025, and it's canceled again nationally. But we're doing it big here in the city of Los Angeles. We also take a moment to celebrate gospel music in the city of Los Angeles. It's very important for us to celebrate it here. Some of the first recordings, professional commercial recordings of black gospel music were made here in the city of Los Angeles, coming out of the Azusa Street Revival and other movements in our city. And so we're very excited about the celebration today, very excited about our honoree. I want to kick to my colleagues who are here to join in and help us lead the celebration, starting with Councilmember Heather Hutt of the 10th District.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam Chair. It's an honor to be here for Black Music Month, a time to celebrate the huge impact Black artists, composers, and musicians have had on music in America and worldwide. And we just felt the sounds of soul when the gospel group came in. And that's exactly what we need after the testimonies that of folks in our community that are suffering. So we really appreciate it. Black music is American music. Every faction of music, pop, rock, hip hop, blues, jazz, etc., presides in Black music. Black artists have not only influenced music, they've transformed it in every form. That's why I'm proud to be with my colleagues and honor an artist who is known as the First Lady of Praise and Worship, Dr. Judith McAllister. And we just saw her work, right? We just enjoyed her work. Dr. McAllister has dedicated over 4 decades, she was very young when she started, to transform the sound and spirit of gospel music. A gifted songwriter, pianist, and choir director, her leadership at West Angeles Church of God in Christ in the 10th District, thank you very much, and her tenure as president of the Church of God in Christ International Music Department has inspired worshipers around the world. Dr. McAllister doesn't just create music, she creates ministry, music that speaks to your soul. I believe we felt it today. Her voice is a sound of hope, healing, and empowerment for so many people across the country. And we thank you, Doctor, for your devotion, your unwavering commitment to the legacy of Black music, but more importantly, for bringing us peace and healing through your music. You're a shining light in this celebration, and we're so happy to honor you. Thank you so much.
Councilmember Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm so proud to join you and Councilmember Hutt as we usher in Black Music Month, and we celebrate a real shero in that process. Someone who has really distinguished herself, Judith Christy McAllister. Let's give it up again for Doctor. Amongst the genres of music, gospel music stands as a single source, a sound built out of struggle, perseverance, and unwavering faith. Last Sunday, we witnessed the power of that sound firsthand at our Juneteenth celebration at South Park, where the incredible gospel singers lifted our spirits and brought the community together in joy and unity and peace. It's a moving reminder of the strength and beauty found in our shared traditions. This year, we center our celebration on one of gospel music's most transformative figures, Judith Christy McAllister. Known to many as the First Lady of Praise and Worship, her influence has helped reshape the sound of modern gospel. Through her music, her leadership, and her ministry, she has elevated praise and worship to a deeply powerful and personal experience for countless people around the globe. Judith Christy McAllister's groundbreaking work as Minister of Music for the Church of God in Christ set a new standard for excellence and spiritual depth in worship music. Her albums like Send Judith First and In His Presence continue to inspire churches and worship leaders with a fresh spirit sound that bridges tradition and innovation. Her legacy is certainly one of empowerment. As a Black woman leading in spaces often dominated by men, she has opened doors for women in the gospel music ministry and served as a mentor and model for young ministers. Through her leadership, she's built communities of worshipers who are committed to not just to music, but to ministry, to healing, and to service. And so as we celebrate Black Music Month, let's remember that gospel music is not just a sound, it's a movement, right? It's the soundtrack of resilience and rejoicing of sacred memory and spiritual strength. Let's continue to support the music, its creators, and the spaces where it thrives. Thank you for recognizing the power of gospel and the legacy of leaders like Judith Christy McAllister. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, colleagues. And I want to present to everyone the sort of the voice of gospel music in Southern California, the DJ that is there forever on KJLH on every Sunday, broadcasting gospel music and gospel services, and at every big gospel event that we have here in Southern California, the one and only Mr. Andre Russell.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Listen, On behalf of a great artist I'm sure you've all heard of, Stevie Wonder, who owns KJLH, I bring greetings this morning, and I want to say we at KJLH, we recognize everything that's trying to be erased. We recognize Black History Month. We recognize Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. We recognize Juneteenth. We recognize Black Music Month, which is now in June, and we will not be silenced or let our legacies and histories be erased. That's what we're here for. We celebrate Black Music Month as we pay homage to this great lady right here, who, by the way, is one of the greatest gospel artists in the world. So we say congratulations and we salute Miss Judy Christie McAllister. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andre Russell and colleagues. We're just so proud today. We do not have more of a giant, more of an icon for gospel music in our midst, perhaps in the country, than Dr. Judy McAllister. And like you do for so many of the great preachers, before you get up and sing, get up and speak, there's going to be a special selection. So we'll hear from the Judy McAllister Tribute Choir one more time, and then the next voice you hear will be that of our honoree, Dr. Judy McAllister. Thank you so much, Madam Chair, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, Angelinos, the one and only Dr. Judy McAllister.
Thank you so much, Council President Marquise Harris Dawson. And to all of the council members, thank you so much. To my family and to all my friends that came to be with me today, thank you for being here. I rise today with a heart that is overflowing with gratitude to be recognized by a city that has shaped my entire adult life, my ministry, and my calling. I consider it an honor that I do not take lightly. This recognition is far greater than any one individual. It echoes the stories of countless voices, once silenced, that now sing. It belongs to every person who found hope again through worship and life-giving sound of gospel music. Praise and worship is more than an idiom. It's a lifestyle that is rooted in faith. Gospel music is more than rhythm, melody, and harmony. It is a lifetime and a lifeline, a spiritual anchor. It carries the cry of the oppressed. It speaks courage to the weary and offers strength to those who choose to believe, even while burdened by life's weight. It leads us straight to Jesus, the source of our hope, the source of our faith, and the source of our love. No matter what side of the aisle you find yourself on, I'm sure that you can agree with me that our world groans with the strain of injustice, like we heard this morning, racial and societal division, the inhumane treatment of Black and brown lives, inequities in the lives of the disenfranchised. We must cling to that hope more than ever before. We need Jesus. And through him, we are called to love and honor one another, regardless of race, creed, or culture. Dr. Martin Luther King stated, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." And the words of Malcolm X, he said, "When I is replaced by we, even illness becomes wellness." To the mentors who have shaped my journey, I wish to say thank you. Your wisdom, sacrifice, and belief in me taught me to pursue ministry with excellence and humility. They taught me that it's not about me, it's about the we, and I stand on their shoulders. One leader in particular must be acknowledged, Presiding Bishop Emeritus Charles Edward Blake Sr. Come on, that's right, give him a hand. A man of divine insight and courageous wisdom, that in the late 1980s, he boldly introduced the sacred idiom of praise and worship to an African-American congregation in a way that elevated the standard of worship across the nation. Because of his foresight, I had the opportunity to walk in purpose. The reason I am affectionately called the First Lady of Praise and Worship is not solely due to my personal accomplishments. It is also because I simply obeyed and worked diligently along with others to put Bishop Blake's vision into action. He is not present here today, but I wish to say, Bishop Blake, thank you for entrusting me with what God showed you. I attempted to carry it with honor, and today I stand in this space of recognition because of your obedience and your leadership. Can we take just one more moment and celebrate Bishop Charles Edward Blake Sr.? Looking ahead, my commitment remains unwavering. Through the Never-Ending Worship Collective, I will continue to teach, to train, to equip leaders, creatives, and believers, not just how to perform and to lead skillfully, but to live well, to walk with integrity, to serve with humility, and worship with the anointing, to be better worshipers, better servants, better human beings, so that together we can have a better future. To my extended family and dear friends, and would you stand, those of you that came to support me today, thank you for taking time out of your busy, that's right, let's give them a hand. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to witness this milestone with me. Thank you for being present today. And to my incredible immediate family that is standing behind me, to my beloved husband, Darren McAllister, who lives the we through his service as one of the vice presidents at the Union Rescue Mission, and to our amazing children, Michael, Christina, Destiny. Your love, sacrifice, and support have undergirded me every step of this journey. This honor belongs to you as well. Come on, let's give my family a hand. That's right. Finally, and in the church We have 3 closings, but this is going to be my only close, okay? I am deeply humbled by this extraordinary honor. It affirms the work to which I have dedicated my life. It strengthens me and my resolve to keep moving forward. I accept it with gratitude, aware of the legacy before me and committed to those that come after me. I pray that they too will stand strong, serve well, and keep Jesus at the center of it all. Thank you, Councilman, for this honor. Thank you to the entire City Council for believing in my contribution in such a meaningful way. Gratitude as well to Mr. Andre Russell and also to Maurice Johnson in your part in facilitating this special occasion. May God bless you. May God bless our city. And may the name of Jesus always be lifted high through the power of gospel music. Thank you.
So, Dr. McAllister, on behalf of this entire City Council and the Mayor and City Attorney and Clerk,
Council President.
I'm going to defer to the Madam Chair for a second.
Yes, Council President, we have a couple of members on the queue before you make your presentation. Councilmember Hernandez, no? Okay. Councilmember Padilla? Councilmember Soto Martinez? Oh, yes, go ahead.
You know, I wasn't prepared to say any comments today, and my nephew pushed the button, so I will say something. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the council members for the presentation. It was exactly what I think I kind of needed going into the weekend, was to hear some gospel music inside council, because it touched my soul and it kind of just reminded me that we're all here for a reason in these hard times. And when there's no president to look back to with what's going on, or you know, you kind of feel like there's nowhere to learn from. You're reminded that you have to look within, that it's our soul and it's our mind and our gut and our relationship with God that's going to get us through this. So thank you for reminding us this as we go into this weekend and we get this potentially very long summer started. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Council President, Councilmember Hutt and Price, and for all honorees here today. I just want to say that as I was hearing the music, my body just began to relax, to feel a lot of joy. You know, in high school, I was in choir class in Watts for many years, and so it brought back those memories. But more importantly, I appreciate how people talked about Malcolm X and the civil rights movement and things like that, because we can't forget that the civil rights movement was many things. It was militant, it was organized, it was peaceful, it was nonviolent, but it had music. It had music, it had so much joy. When people were marching, they were singing. When they met at night to reorganize themselves, they were in the churches, they were singing. And so it was just a beautiful reminder of like how we need to incorporate that as much as possible. And so just feel very grateful for this space that you created in these halls of power. So again, thank you so much for bringing so much joy and nostalgia for me today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council President. Yes.
And thank you so much, members. And you know, I just want to add the comment. A lot of times, folks read history. Councilmember Padilla, Councilmember Soto Martinez, and they'll say, how did African Americans get through all of that? How did they struggle through? How did they summon the courage to keep standing up and to not give up and to not become nihilist and become internally pessimistic? Part of it is what you heard this morning, is that every week, over and over and over again, we keep singing to each other. Yes. And we keep bringing each other joy and trying to connect with our center and with our soul. And so with that, I want to, on behalf of all of the elected officials in the city of Los Angeles, present you with this resolution of recognition for all of your work and your contribution, not just to the city of Los Angeles, but to the world of gospel music around the globe.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation, for that incredible music, which uplifted us at a very dark time in our city.
And there will be food and more singing out in the forecourt after council today. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Next, we will be moving to a presentation anchored by Councilmember McAllister. Welcome, Councilmember.
The council president said, I thought you were going to come up with something. In my faith tradition, St. Augustine said to sing once is to pray twice. To sing once is to pray twice. So thank you for praying us in. From the God-given talents of singing and music and praise to the God-given talents of sport and baseball, I bring to you, good morning, colleagues. Today I bring to you San Pedro's own Mary Star of the Sea high school varsity baseball team who won their first ever Division VII CIF championship, the Mary Star Stars. The Mary Star Stars. It's a special place in my heart. My mom graduated from Mary Star. She met my dad at Mary Star, who graduated from Pedro, but they met at work and at Mary Star. So thank you very much for Catholic education's part in my life. The mark of a champion is fighting through adversity, and the young stars fought through it all to come out on top. This season was marked by grit, determination, and a spirit of perseverance. The Stars did not start the season very well. They went 1-3 to begin, but the momentum of the playoffs carried them through. One of their most clutch players this season was Riley Voso. Let's hear it for Riley. Where's Riley? Riley was excellent all year. He batted over 400, and he also had a pitching ERA of 1.33. 400, 1.33 ERA. Those are, I never heard of this guy, but I'm told that's like Shohei Ohtani. But let's hear for Riley. Yeah. The playoffs started with wins against Patriot High and Lancaster, which led them to the quarterfinals against Garden Grove. The Stars rallied to come back during that game to win. They were kind of heart attack kids. Their parents were watching every step of the way. They set up a semifinal game against top-seeded Channel Islands and beat them. The Stars did it again with a walk-off homer from Julian Cervantes in the 11th inning to win 7-6 and face Notre Dame High in the championship. The championship against Notre Dame, and don't worry, my loyalties weren't divided. I was still with the Stars as a Notre Dame grad. Against Notre Dame, they looked like they would end the season right there because the Stars were down by 4 runs in the 7th inning. And a good friend of mine, Augie Bezmalinovich of the Port of Los Angeles, was texting me during the game to say, hey, we're down by 4, it's a 7th, it doesn't look good. However, in the 8th inning, the Stars loaded the bases, and then they tied the game at 7-7. And leave it to Riley and Riley's bat, they claimed Mary Star's first ever baseball championship. Let's hear it for him. The Tower. It was a thrilling ending to an outstanding season, and although Coach Shute could not be here today, it would not have been possible without him. The Stars were incredibly coached, and they were focused in every single game. They were well prepared and ready to go, and they peaked at the right time. It also wouldn't be possible to do something like this without the support of the entire school family. Mary Star is a parish high school, which is kind of unusual. And we have Father Harrigan here. Let's hear it for Father Harrigan. Give a wave. Father Harrigan, who is the boss of everybody within the system at the parish and at the school, at the high school. We have Mr. Guzman. Mr. Guzman, our athletic director, is here. Thank you, Mr. Guzman. But the inspirational leader of all of this, the person to whom we turn when we have hard choices, when we got to do tough things like keep the elementary school going, and she's been inspirational at the high school, and she's at every game, and I don't know how she does it. I see her everywhere, all over the Mary Star family. She's at every event, and she's she's just really inspired me over the course of my time watching her, and that's Principal Rita Dever of Mary Star of the City High School. We'd like Principal Dever to come on up and give a few words.
Good morning. Thank you to Councilman McAllister for recognizing our CIF championship baseball team. It's the first CIF championship in a boys sport in the history of our school. And these gentlemen are true to their golden blue. They worked very hard after a rough start. They were a scrappy team. The heart attack team is their nickname because they had it was come down to like winning in overtime by 1. So we're so grateful to these boys for the way they've carried themselves as gentlemen on and off the field. They're a scrappy, hardworking team that made Mary Star very, very proud. And as a principal, one of the proudest moments in my life, I probably shouldn't say that as an educator, but go Stars. Baseball is really important, and it's made fine men out of these guys. So let's give them a big hand.
Thank you. So in San Pedro and in the Harbor area, we're very proud of all that Mary Star High School has done for generations for our community. We're grateful to these kids. I'm grateful to Father Harrigan for his leadership of the entire church community as well as the elementary school and the high school. We're really, really proud of these kids. They carry themselves in community with grace, and we are really fortunate to have them as our future leaders in the area. We've given certificates to each one of them, and I just want to thank them one more time on behalf of the City of Los Angeles for coming and congratulate them and their parents for doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much.
Oh, yes, do a picture here. We'll do a picture.
Councilmember McCusker?
Yes.
Thank you. No,
Thank you.
And as they finish up, we'll ask Councilmember Rahman to head to the podium for her presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's go back.
Okay, while we're waiting for them to take the podium, I want to make a quick announcement. I have 2 interns who've been volunteering with my district office in Reseda. Tatiana Diaz is an undergraduate student pursuing a Bachelor's of Sociology and Law Society Policy at Syracuse University in New York. And Yenny Denloye is an undergraduate student pursuing a Bachelor's in Economics at Howard University. With almost 2 months of experience under their belt so far, I'm really happy that they're coming to council chambers today to see what we do here. They've been doing such great work in the district, and I'm glad that they're here to see what's happening and take part in it. So thank you both for your hard work. Okay, now we can move to the next presentation. Councilwoman Rahman.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for giving me the space to do this presentation today. I want to welcome all of you to join us in celebrating Diia del Bolero. And I did want to just remark that the reason why I do this presentation annually is because of a staff member who worked for me, Yvette Serna, who then went on to work for Councilmember Hernandez, who not only shared this music with me and encouraged me to do this presentation, but has gifted me with a playlist which has blessed my life with this music ever since. And I've just been very, very happy to be able to do this presentation, not just this year, but for the past 3 years. And so in partnership with Boleros de Noche, I want to open with a brief video highlighting the magic and community that comes with Boleros de Noche and shares a little bit more about boleros as a musical genre.
growing up here, you know, you're kind of like stuck between like American and Mexican. I think like just staying true to our roots, I think is super important. And for me, like it means a lot.
It's a bunch of love songs, right? So we don't really have that nowadays. So that's why a lot of people fall back on their oldies, the boleros, and things of that nature, because it's something that we don't get anymore, and it's nice to have.
Happy to be here and enjoying the boleros. We've been coming almost every year, and we really enjoy because I come with my daughters, my granddaughter, the whole familia.
Every year, it's a tradition. Love the show, love the people. It's an amazing experience every time. Can't go wrong.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Boleros de Noche is an annual music event series that was launched in 2015 that brings the power of bolero music onto the stage and into the limelight. Across countries and islands, Latino communities have been coming together through the power of song, dance, community, resistance, and love. Boleros as a genre are just one example of this. They have the powerful ability to unite us all through passion. They recognize the exquisite anguish of love and longing. They did so in the 1940s, and they continue to do so today. I think I can't talk about the beauty of Latino culture and music without recognizing the challenges that the community is facing today in this moment. Latino and other immigrant communities in Los Angeles are under attack. Neighborhoods have been struck with terror, fear, and heartbreak. And it is a poignant moment to be able to talk about music that captures the agony, loss, hope, and redemption like boleros do at this moment. And I'm grateful to be able to do this presentation at this moment. In 2023, UNESCO declared the bolero an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And that is precisely the moment that we find ourselves in now, a moment of needing to reconnect with our communities, reconnect with our humanity. Los Angeles has always been home to a vibrant arts and culture scene, and it has been always home to vibrant Latino communities. In fact, long before this city and even this country were established. And I'm proud today to uplift boleros and the many communities that find solace, healing, hope, and humanity in this incredible musical form. Now please join me in welcoming the creative director of Boleros de Noche, Roberto Carlos.
Thank you. Buenos dias, good morning. Buenos dias, good morning. Honorable city officials, distinguished guests, committee members, and friends. My name is Roberto Carlos. I am the founder of Boleros de Noche. I also have the honor to receive, on behalf of the city recognition Diia del Bolero, a day that now holds a permanent place in the heart of Los Angeles. Isn't that right? Yes or no? Yes. Today we just don't celebrate music, we honor a living tradition, the bolero, a genre that carries the memories of our elders, the poetry of our ancestors, and the passion of our people. From Santiago de Cuba to Mexico City, from San Juan, Puerto Rico to the streets of Los Angeles, bolero has always been a vessel of emotion, resilience, and elegance. For many of us, boleros are the sounds of our childhood homes, our grandparents' radios, the backdrop of family gatherings, a kind of emotional archive that reminds us of who we are and where we come from. The declaration of Diia del Bolero by the city is more than symbolic. It is a statement that our culture matters, that preserving our artistic roots is not a luxury, it's a necessity, and that the contributions of Latin American communities to the cultural fabric of this city are not only recognized, but celebrated. I want to thank the city of Los Angeles for this incredible honor and for acknowledging the importance of cultural preservation. I also want to thank every audience member, every family who has kept this tradition alive, and every musician that sings a bolero. This day belongs to you. And today we are joined by the talented brothers, Arturo and Jose Luis, directly from Chapala, Jalisco. They've been serenading audiences for more than 40 years. They are from Los Angeles. They are joining us this morning, and they will join us on August 2nd at the Ford Theater as we celebrate the 9th annual Boleros en Noche, as we celebrate Diia del Bolero. And we hope to see you next year for our 10th annual Boleros en Noche. Thank you very much. Que vivan ustedes, que viva la ciudad y que viva el bolero. Bolero Soul.
Oh, here. Roberto.
Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón. En el alma solo tengo soledad. Y si ya no puedo verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir más. Siempre fuiste la razón de mi existir. Adorarte para mí fue religión. Si en tus besos encontraba el amor que le brindaba, el calor de tu pasión. Es la historia de un amor como no hay otra igual, que me hizo comprender todo el bien, todo el mal, que le dio luz a mi vida, apagándola después. Ay, qué noche tan oscura, sin tu amor yo viviré. Es la historia de un amor como no hay otra igual, que me hizo comprender todo el bien, todo el mal, que le dio luz a mi vida, apagándola después. Ay, qué noche tan oscura, sin tu amor yo viviré. Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón. Ya no estás. Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. Si negaras mi presencia en tu vivir, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar. Tanta dicha yo te di, que por fuerza tienes ya sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más, yo no sé si tenga amor la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en tu boquita llevas ya sabor a mí. Ese requinto, Arturito. no pretendo ser tu dueño. No soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. De mi vida doy lo bueno. Soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más. Yo no sé si tengamos la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en tu boquita llevas ya sabor a mí, sabor, sabor a mí. Thank you so much. Gracias.
That was really I want to thank these incredible musicians who brought so much joy and poignancy to today. Really, really a special moment to have you, to have Roberto, to honor this art form here in our council chambers, an art form that is so rich with meaning for so many Angelinos. And with that, I want to recognize Boleros de Noche with recognition from the entire city of Los Angeles. So thank you so much for what you do.
Great. We have some members on the queue.
Oh, sorry.
So, Councilwoman Hernandez. Councilwoman Hernandez to speak.
Yes, thank you. I just want to say that right here in Chambers, I think it's a beautiful reflection of the city. You know, we're going from some phenomenal gossip singers, and thank you to Council President and Councilwoman Heather Hudd and Councilmember Price for bringing that in. And then Councilwoman Rahman to bring in the Boleros de Noche here today. I think in this moment, like, we are going through different crises and different heartache and terror, but right here is the perfect reflection of why Los Angeles is one of the best cities in the world. Yes. And so thank you so much for that. So thank you all. And I'm gonna just fangirl for a bit. The Carlos family, Pepe Carlos, like I've been a fan of you and La Santa Cecilia for a long time. You and your band as well. Just please keep that up. It brings a lot of joy to our communities. It's just wonderful to be able to see ourselves in this art. So I'm just grateful for you all. Please keep it up, and thank you again, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. And back to you, Councilwoman Rahman, to close.
Thank you again for giving us the space to honor this beautiful forum today. Thank you very much, Council President, and to the entire City Council.
Thank you. Wonderful, thank you. Let's give them a big round of applause. No more pieces. Okay. Before we move to public comment, I believe we have an item, or do we have at least one item we can take up, which is item 25, correct?
Yes, sir. Council members Rahman and Padilla called item 25 special. Councilmember Rahman for comments, and by Councilmember Padilla for comments and questions.
Okay. Is there any other items that are called special that we can do before public comment? Or that's it?
The council may also consider item 19 as amended by motion 19A, which was introduced by Councilmember Soto Martinez for Rodriguez and seconded by Councilmember Padilla.
Okay, so why don't we just take up 19 real quick, and then we'll move to 25. So on item 19, that's before us as amended. Does anyone wish to speak to that item? Seeing no speakers on the queue, no members. Then let's open the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. There is a member on the queue for this. Oh, do you need to? No, okay. No members on the queue, correct? Mr. Price does not want to speak on this. Okay. Let's open the roll. Close the roll, tally the vote.
13 ayes.
Okay, that measure is approved.
And for the record, that was adopted as amended, sir.
As amended, 19. Okay, now we'll move to 25. And Councilwoman Rahman.
Thank you so much. And I know there's other colleagues who have questions, and I look forward to the discussion today. I just wanted to provide a brief introduction to this motion. every year, 70% of the over 40,000 individuals who are placed into custody at our city's 3 detention facilities at 77th Street, Van Nuys, and Metropolitan require medical treatment, which the city provides through a staff of medical service professionals who staff clinics at each of these facilities. During a very challenging budget process, these medical service providers and the funding for them fell through the cracks, resulting in a request that would essentially consolidate all of these medical services and only provide them at one of the city's aforementioned 3 detention facilities. I happened to learn about this by accident during a visit to the Metropolitan Detention Center to understand more about our jail system and our process. But the ramifications of shutting down 2 out of these 3 medical clinics cannot be overstated. Thousands of individuals who rely on receiving care from these medical professionals at these detention centers would be at risk of receiving a reduced quality of care and increased wait times with potentially serious ramifications for their health. Shutting down these facilities would also mean that officers who were making arrests would have to transport individuals across the city to the remaining medical facility, no matter where the location of their arrest was, which would mean many more hours off the street and potentially reduced care quality for those individuals. Continuity of care is essential for the health and safety of detainees, and also for maintaining the basic promises that we make here of upholding a just public safety system. This motion seeks to ensure that the medical services are not shuttered on July 1st, which is why I'm grateful that it was heard today. And secondly, to create a strategy by which we can incorporate these services and the workforce that carries them out into the budget process in a better way to ensure cuts like these don't occur at this time, but also aren't in danger of occurring in the future. As we've heard from the workers themselves who testified during the hearings on this item, these services are not optional. They're critical to the well-being of individuals in custody and to the effective operation of our city's public safety infrastructure. We must be able to keep everybody safe. I want to thank Council Members Lee and McAllister, who heard this in an expedited way in their committees, and to the Council President for putting this on today's agenda. And I hope that after today's discussion, we will be able to move this forward with all of your support. And thank you to all of the voices who showed up to testify on this item in their various committee meetings. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Councilmember Price, followed by Councilmember McAllister.
Thank you, Mr. President. My district, as well as Councilmember Padilla's, are now potentially in jeopardy of losing an essential service that will bring both our incarcerated residents on-site medical care. It's desperately needed. As a body, we need to have a better understanding of what the long-term financial impacts are of eliminating these services. Despite our current fiscal situation, cutting something as integral as health to our residents, no matter what their criminal status is, will be deeply felt by some of our most vulnerable Angelenos. Everyone is deserving of health care and medical services, and any attempt to cut those divisions will be felt not only by the folks who are in the penitentiaries, but also by the police officers who will now be responsible for shuttling people from one part of the city to another just to receive basic medical attention. More importantly, we need to ask, what's the cost benefit? Why are we allowing ourselves to eliminate key services? And what are we putting at risk in the long term as a result of this decision? Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Councilmember McAllister.
I just want to thank you, Council Member, for your leadership, Councilmember Rahman, and I'm not sure where you are, but thank you so much. I was happy to sign on to this real issue. It's a real issue for quality of care. It's also an issue for the efficiencies of our department. It takes folks off of the street for longer and longer periods of time. I can't imagine what the line of service requests will be. So for all of those reasons, for efficiencies, but also for the most important reason of making sure people in our custody are taken care of, this is a critical motion. So I just was thanking you for your leadership on it.
Great. Councilman Rahman, did you wish to speak again? No. Okay. Seeing no other speakers on the queue. Okay. Padilla just came on the screen. Go ahead. Councilwoman Padilla.
Do we have anybody here from personnel that can talk about it?
I believe we do. Phillips, welcome.
Good morning, members. Malika Billups, General Manager, Personnel Department.
Can you just kind of tell us a little bit about how this came together, where we're at, and the reasons to why we think this is going to have to end, and what we could do to keep it going?
So just to be clear, the Personnel Department provides medical services at 3 detention facilities within the city of Los Angeles. That's Van Nuys, Metro, and 77th. The Councilmember Rahman is correct. A substantial number of individuals who are brought into LAPD custody are in need of medical care, and the Personnel Department employs people who provide that care. In this year's budget process, vacant positions, 7 vacant positions of care providers were eliminated, as well as approximately 40% of our as-needed funding. We addressed this in a budget memo, and ultimately the council decided to ask the Personnel Department to report back through a special study, which the Personnel Department has been working on. There has been some misconception that there will be an immediate closure of detention facilities as of July 1st, and that's not accurate. It was a proposal that the Personnel Department made to create offsets, as we were asked to create offsets to figure out how do we navigate proposed cuts in funding. That was merely a proposal. At present, we believe, and we are completing our study, but roughly I can say we estimate that we'll be able to maintain medical facilities at the 3 detention facilities for approximately 6 months before the funding for medical will run out with the Personnel Department. So there's a little bit of time to figure out how to create these offsets, but that's where we are.
No, that's great. That's exactly along the lines of what I wanted you to say, or talk to us about. Do you know by any chance what the average stay is for an individual at these locations?
I do not.
Okay, because my understanding, if I remember the history, is that these are locations where sometimes our LAPD officers needed a space to hold individuals before and to check if it was an arrest that needed to go all the way to the Metropolitan Jail, right? That was my understanding, and that's why we need this service, because we now have these locations where people could be held for a few days.
Right. I mean, I do believe that people are held for more than a day or two in the detention facilities, and when people are arrested, sometimes oftentimes they will need medical care. Most people require some level of medical care when they come in, but medical issues can arise while people are within the detention facility. I think part of the issue is whether or not LAPD would be able to transport the number of people necessary from one detention facility to another, because that particular person is in need of medical care, rather than just providing medical where they are. I don't know if that's answering your question, but I do believe that people do stay in the detention facilities for more than a day or two while waiting for hearings and things like that. And issues can arise at the time.
Yeah, I mean, this is not where people who are sentenced stay at. This is right before they get transferred into the county system.
Correct.
Okay, so the reason why I was intrigued and wanted to ask some questions is because most recently there was an individual that was put into the Van Nuys jail. Myself and another council member were asked to ask questions about getting them out sooner than later, and now we're being accused of playing ping pong over who was supposed to advocate to get them out sooner or get questions out. So what I fear is that you have more people now watching what happens in these locations where people are held for just a couple of days. So I want to make sure that if this is city property and we're holding folks before something is determined for them to go into the county system, that we as the city of Los Angeles do everything that we can to make sure that these are humane places and not going to cause more council members to get the heat and especially not our police department, especially in these contentious times. So when are we going to hear back from this report?
I believe that we can have a report in the next 30 days. I think it's going either back to public safety or the PA committee. I'm not sure where it's assigned next, but certainly we are working on the report. We can have a report to you relatively soon.
And the report is going to show us alternatives to make sure this continues, correct? Or creative ways of making sure we continue this?
The report will identify, will basically tell the story of, again, this is, the personnel department role is not broad within the detention facilities. It's really related to the medical dispensaries and whether or not nurses are able to provide care for individuals there. So within the detention facilities. And so the scope of our report back will be what's within the motion, but also really related to the costs of medical care, the scope of medical care that is provided, the types of providers that we provide, what is the funding that is necessary, the time frame. There will be aspects of the report back that I think LAPD would be more appropriate to report back on, and we are working closely with the department to identify some of those specific LAPD operational issues, but that is the broad nature of the report back.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Padilla, and thank you, Ms. Billups, for being here to answer those questions. The motion does request a 30-day report back, and although I know often the report back timelines are subject to significant discretion by the departments, I think there is a lot of interest on this council to ensure that we're holding ourselves to that timeline, again, in the interests of making our system as safe as possible for people. So we would appreciate the personnel department's support and the police department's support in making sure that we're meeting that deadline this time. And I want to thank you and others at the personnel department for being willing to answer questions in a timely fashion so that we could get this before us as a body.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that, let's move to, seeing no other speakers, let's move to a vote on item 25. Open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Thank you. And at this time, I believe we can move to public comment. So, okay, City Attorney, if you want to read the directions for public comment.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak at the podium, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else within the city's subject matter jurisdiction. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you're on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are items 1, 31, and 32. Again, that's items 1, 31, and 32. And if I could get the translator to translate this part for me. To members that are providing public comment in Spanish, we ask that you pause after every few sentences.
Para los miembros que requiere la interpretación de español a inglés durante su comentario público, por favor, den una pausa después de cada frase.
That way the translator can translate your comment. We will hold your time, and you will be given the same amount of time as all of the rest of the speakers. Thank you.
Así ustedes permiten que traduzca la intérprete lo que ustedes están comentando. Y también vamos a dar una pausa a su tiempo, así que va a recibir la misma cantidad de tiempo que los otros comentaristas.
I'll begin calling names. 2, Kimberly Chen, Dorcia Whitebrake.
You can start this individual's time. Go ahead, speaker.
I'm sorry, negra puta, pero este número, pinche puta, dumbass asshole chola cholos, is about the city attorney named Covington and Burling LLP and Heidi Boo Boo. Heidi Boo Boo. Heidi Boo Boo. Why do you have to hire outside counsel? You can't deal with David O. Carter's judgment against the city of Los Angeles? You can't deal with the LA County Board of Supervisors? Well, that's the problem. The matter that the city council authorized $500,000 of the balance outside councils, including workers' compensation line item. Yeah, that's how fucking stupid you are. Noodle, noodle, noodle. Noodle, noodle, noodle. See, when you know how to win, you dumbass asshole chola and cholos, this is how we do it. This is how
City
we
Attorney,
do it. What number?
Can you clarify how this is relevant to the subject matters?
Next item. City attorney designee asshole controller to instruct the bitch for any necessary technical adjustment, you fucking cunt, dumbass asshole chola. Rumenudo to subject the approval of Zabo CAO and authorize the nigger controller to implement my motherfucking instructions. Yeah, thank you, everybody. It's showtime, LA Friday. Then we go into case number 220CV02291, Doc Key ES. Now, LA Alliance for Human Rights was always right about housing. Legal Aid Foundation was always right about housing, you fucked up noodle, asshole. And you blob blob juju filled. Where is the fucking billions of dollars you stole on housing, everybody? Where? Where? Where did it go? So now you know the truth because it comes out of me mentally that we got two Sambos up here fucking up our housing by the approval of the mayor. It's irreparable harm, even to the renters, even to us wetbacks like me. But the urgency is about human suffering. Again, human suffering. What? Human suffering. What? Fuck you! Now, politely, United States Attorney General, we love you. Pam Bondi, we love the way you arrest these federal judges and their illegal, intolerable, irreparable harm when these judges are taking bribe money from elected officials and donors in California. I love you. I love you, Mommy. When I was 10 years old and I watched my mother cry on the phone hearing how you put down Edward Chin, that fucking Florida asshole judge. And there's more to come. So long, new scum. So long, Mayor of Lee. And fuck your sanctuary cities, you fucking assholes.
Before the next speaker, I'd like to call a few more names. Van Mizel, Margarita Gonzalez, and 4.
Can we call a couple of extra names so that we can have a list up here?
Absolutely. Dana Randy, Harry Kim, 799, and Cayman.
Speakers, if you could make your way up to the podium as quickly as possible. We'd like to get through as many speakers as we have time for. Go ahead. Speaker, your name and the items you're speaking on.
Buenos días.
Yes, which items would you like to speak on?
Necesito traducción, por favor.
Sí,
No
le
problem.
escucho. ¿En qué punto quisiera dar su comentario?
Comentario público.
I would like to make a general comment.
Okay.
You'll have
You
one
have 1
minute.
minute.
Un minuto, entonces.
Buenos días de nuevo. Mi nombre es Margarita González y pertenezco a ACE.
Hi, good morning. My name is Margarita Gonzalez, and I'm with ACE.
Y vengo aquí para pedirle al ayuntamiento de favor que extienda de inmediato el contrato de State House LA.
And I've come here to urge City Council to extend immediately the state-housed LA contract.
Nos gustaría que fuera permanente,
We would like for it to be permanent.
porque habemos muchas personas, como en mi caso, que estoy a punto de ser desalojada de mi hogar que ha sido por más de 30 años.
And there are a lot of people like me who are running the risk of being evicted from their homes, and it's been like that for years.
También queremos que incluyan en la agenda la emoción del banco público.
We'd also like for you to agendize a motion for public banks.
En esta ciudad hay muchos homeless de hoy en adelante y si no tenemos apoyo, vamos a ver más personas en la calle.
There are a lot of unhoused individuals already in the city, and if we do not approve this contract, there are going to be a lot more.
Por eso les pido de favor que se pongan la mano en el corazón y piensen en nuestros hijos. Yo tengo un hijo con necesidades especiales y que él me hace la pregunta que si vamos a vivir en la calle.
Thank you, Speaker.
And I would just like you to take a moment to please just have it in your heart to think about the children. I have one child who's special needs, and he even asked if we're going to be able to stay in the home we live in.
Speaker, your time is
Ya se le
out.
acabó su tiempo.
Yeah, good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Next speaker.
Before the next speaker, I'd like to call a few more names. Wendy Lopez, Mr. Crawford, Edna Monroy, Tyrone Blades, Christina Boyar, Victoria Enriquez.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
General comment, item number 32 발언하겠습니다.
I'm sorry, item number 32 and general public comment?
General comment and item number 32.
Okay, can you have 1 minute for each. Can you please start with item number 32 first?
안녕하세요. 제 이름은 해리 킴이고 저는 로스앤젤레스시에 거주하고 있습니다.
Hello, my name is Harry Kim, and I live in the city of Los Angeles.
시내 계속 오르는 임대료로 인해 저는 보다 저렴하고 안정적인 주거지를 찾아야 했습니다.
Because of the ever-rising rental fee, I had to find a stable and then nice, like a residence.
하지만 어디서부터 시작해야 될지 막막했고 절차도 복잡했습니다.
But the process was very confusing, and it was very complicated.
그때 키와라는 지역 비영리 단체를 통해 도움을 받을 수 있었습니다.
But then I was able to get help from the non-profit organization named Kiwa.
그분들은 저소득 아파트를 찾는 것부터 신청서 작성, 필요한 서류 준비까지 전 과정을 도와주셨습니다.
They helped me with everything, including find the affordable housing choices, and then filling out applications, and throughout all the documentation process and everything.
특히 영어가 모국어가 아닌 저에게는 이러한 지원이 없었다면 혼자서는 절대 해낼 수 없었을 겁니다.
I would never have been able to do it because my native language is not English, so it was really helpful.
존경하는 시의원 여러분께 간곡히 말씀드립니다. 이러한 서비스는 단순한 정보 제공이 아니라 우리같이 어려움을 겪는 사람들에게는 생명줄 같은 존재입니다.
Respectfully, I ask the councils, this kind of help is not just giving me important information, it's like a lifeline for me.
저와 같은 세입자들이 앞으로도 계속해서 필요한 지원을 받을 수 있도록 Stay House LA 프로그램의 연장 계약과 이들을 잘 펼칠 수 있는 기금 책정을 반드시 지원해 주시길 간곡히 요청드립니다. 감사합니다.
I strongly urge you to support the extension of a stay-housed LA program and the funding that will allow us, people like us, to continue to receive the support that we definitely need. Thank you.
Before the next speaker, I'd like to call a few more names. Esmeralda, Christina Campos, Cynthia Strathman, Alex Scott, Georgina Serrano, and Angelina Jimenez.
You can start the speaker's time.
Yeah. So we have here the illustrious schedule of corruption and felonies today. Now let's talk about $500,000 for criminal defense attorneys. Let's give the city council a hand for admitting they're criminals. Thank you, criminals. I will no longer refer to you as city council members anymore. I will refer to you strictly as criminals or defendants. Now, 31, Covington and Burling. Herb Wesson hired that law firm when he was scared. Mark Ridley Thomas hired him when he was scared. Janice Horn handled them when she was scared. Because there's nothing more frightening than the FBI to these 15 yokel-dokel cocksucker council people. They are scared to death of the FBI. In fact, I will prove it right now. FBI Wade. See what I mean? Ulysses jumped out of her chair. Now we get to 32. What's this shit, eviction defense? Who are you talking about? And by the way, that's Imelda the parrot. And of course, we have a recent Supreme Court decision involving rents. Did these motherfuckers tell you landlords and tenants about this new decision? Yeah. It turns out that most notices under the 3-day are illegal if they do not tell you where to pay the rent increase to. That is in the California Supreme Court. These motherfucking shastas up here are going to tell you. Ulysses ain't going to tell you. Bob ain't going to tell you because they want you to think you need these lawyers. You don't need lawyers. Like the lady said, you just need Jesus Christ. Now we get to number 1. Now let's see here. $5 for the Los Angeles Zoo. They want to charge me $5 more to look at a monkey. I can look at monkeys here for free, all I want. Look at them over here. I can look at tigers like Tracy the tiger. I can look at parrots like Imelda Padilla. And I can look at a hamburger like Eunice's Hamburger Hernandez, and I can do it for free without paying for parking. I don't have to pay for coffee. I don't have to pay for popcorn. I can look at a bunch of goddamn stinking animals for no charge right here at the podium. So I say no to number 1. And now we get to the general comment. My investigation of DWP is going very well. Let's give it a hand. So it turns out that you guys, in violation of my First Amendment and retaliation for my free speech, Bob, Mr. Bobjet, apparently charged me over $1,545 of my water bill when it should have been merely $12.40. But that's not on there, Thea. They also did it in February, and they also did it in March. How about that? Let's give everybody a hand for retaliating against me again. And I want you to keep doing it. Keep doing it, fool. Keep fucking with me, fool. Because every FBI agent in the United States is coming here. I see more out-of-state license plates than back in the old days when the Crips were here. And finally, a shout out to Huntington Park and all the gangs, man. I'm going to give you the sign. I love that lady over there in Cudahy. She bitching.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
Item 32 and general public comment.
You'll have 1 minute for each. Please start with item number 32.
Hi, good morning. I'm Edna Monroy with SAGE and also part of Stay House LA, United to House LA, and honestly, everyone here that is for tenants. Something that is very concerning in the midst of everything that's going on is that the Stay House LA program that has helped thousands and hundreds of Angelenos to stay housed is now at risk of being defunded. Organizations such as ACE, SAGE, and many others present here, CBOs, community-based organizations, are at risk of not supporting tenants who, like myself, that fought 2 evictions, but thanks to Stay House LA, I was able to not go on a 3rd eviction. Shout out to Inner City Law Center and EDN, Eviction Defense Network. This is very concerning because as the rates continue, a lot of us that are immigrants, at risk, high risk, mixed status families can only be housed. But what if we cannot be housed because we are dealing with an eviction? And so I ask you to please do the right thing. Right now, LA is not sending the right message across. It's not leading. And so we need to get it together and actually get back on our leading force, which is to do the right thing, help Angelenos, prioritize Angelenos, keep us housed, protected, and secure. Because right now there's so much going on. And so Stay House LA needs an extension, and it's funding that was already secured by United to House LA, right? This measure that Angeleno voters voted for. So please do the right thing, prioritize CBOs, prioritize Stay House LA, and prioritize Angelenos. Thank you.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
Buenos días. Necesito interpretación, por favor.
Adelante, oradora.
¿Ya?
Adelante, tiene 1 minuto.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Angelina Jiménez. Soy miembro de ACE. Estoy aquí para pedirles de favor que por favor manden firmar Stay House LA, porque esto no es para mañana. Lo queremos para hoy también.
Hi, my name is Ana Jimenez, and I am here to ask you to sign Stay Housed LA. We don't want it for tomorrow, we want it for now.
Ya estoy cansada de lo mismo y me da pena repetir lo mismo, de ver tanta gente en la calle con los problemas que están pasando también ahorita.
I'm tired of coming back time and time again and asking for the same thing, and I'm tired of seeing people on the streets with everything that's happening right now.
Hay una crisis que tal vez ustedes lo tienen en sus manos.
There's a crisis that perhaps is in your hands to handle.
Firmando Stay House LA.
And that's signing Stay Housed LA.
También me gustaría pedirles y decirles que estoy de acuerdo con el banco público, porque nos conviene a nosotros, pero a todos ustedes, principalmente a la ciudad.
And I would also like to ask you to approve the public bank because it would be convenient for all of us, but also convenient for you guys. It would be convenient for the city. Thank you.
Gracias y que Dios los bendiga.
Thank you, and may God bless you.
Buenos días.
Speaker, which items would you like to
Soy
speak
miembro
to?
de ACE,
Oradora, ¿de qué elementos quiere hablar?
del punto 32.
32. Señora, ¿se podría acercar un poquito más al micrófono para
Gracias
poderla
a Dios,
escuchar?
a este apoyo he aprendido mis derechos y vengo a pedirle a toda la mesa directiva que apoyen la Stay House LA, que sea ahora, no mañana, porque hay mucha gente indigente en la calle y va a haber más gente. Entonces, yo soy una vendedora.
Un momento.
I'm a member of ACE, and thank God for giving me the ability to learn my rights. And I am here to support Stay Housed LA because there are way too many people out on the streets. Adelante, oradora.
Y también quiero que pongan, yo soy una soy una vendedora ambulante y yo no tengo recursos para pagar un abogado.
Also, I'm a street vendor. I don't have the resources to pay for a lawyer.
Y también quiero que apoyen en la agenda el banco público, por favor.
And I would also like you, please, to include in the agenda the public bank.
Y que toda la mesa directiva voten y apoyen por House LA. Gracias.
And for the whole of the City Council to support and vote for Stay Housed LA. Thank you.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Cristina Campos, vivo en el Distrito 9 y soy miembro de ACE.
Good morning. My name is Cristina Campos. I live in District 9, and I'm a member of ACE. Adelante.
Okay. Vengo a pedirle al Consejo, por favor, que extienda la protección de Stay Housed LA.
I'm here to ask the members of the council to extend the protections of Stay Housed LA.
Ojalá fuera permanente como ha existido en tiempos anteriores.
And I wish it was permanent as it has been in the past.
Yo soy un ejemplo de esto. Yo estoy sufriendo un desalojo y gracias a Stay Housed LA tengo la representación de un abogado.
And I'm an example of this. I'm facing an eviction, and thank you to Stay Housed LA, I have access to a lawyer.
Es muy importante para la comunidad que se mantenga esta protección. Porque ahorita está una crisis muy alta, que todo es relacionado. Toda esta gente ahorita.
It's important to the community to have these protections because right now we're going through a crisis in which all of these things are related to one another.
Muchas personas no están saliendo a trabajar, entonces todas esas personas con qué recursos van a pagar una renta y si no tienen con qué pagar, ¿dónde vamos a terminar? En la calle.
A lot of people are too afraid to go out to work, and without money, how are they going to pay the rent? And without paying the rent, where are they going to end up? On the street.
Entonces, por favor, le pido que el día de hoy pasen esa protección de Stay Housed LA.
And so I ask you, today, please pass the protections of Stay Housed LA.
Y también que pongan en la agenda la moción para el banco público, que es muy importante para la ciudad.
And also, if you could add into the agenda the motion for a public bank, which is very important for the city.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Speaker, which item would you like to speak to?
Yeah, my name is Georgina Serrano. I speak on the general comment in item 32. I'm work in District 1, and I really appreciated you here together and put the effort to extend the Stay Housed LA contract because this is the way so that tenants be educated, have a legal representation in some critical moments. And I know you are doing your part, we are doing our part as a community organizer. We see how important Stay Housed LA program works for the community. Thank you, Renan, for your support.
Thank you very much. We're going to take a few more speakers, but yeah, just want to encourage everyone. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Cynthia Strathman. I'm the Executive Director at Strategic Actions for a Just Economy, one of the community-based organizations that has been implementing Stay Housed LA. We're asking the council to extend the Stay Housed LA contract and to please include the CBOs, the community-based organizations, in that. We are providing vital services, especially at a time when people need secure homes. Thank you very much.
Next speaker.
Hola, mi nombre es Esmeralda Negrete, vivo en Boyle Heights y soy miembro de CPC, Colectivo Poder Comunitario. Quiero hablar del punto 32 y general.
Hello, my name is Esmeralda Negrete. I live in Boyle Heights. I'm part of CPC and I want to talk about point 32. Adelante.
Quiero pedir que por favor no nos quiten el derecho a tener abogados. Este es un derecho importante para nuestra comunidad.
Please, I'm asking you, don't take away our right to have a lawyer. This is an important right for our community.
En este momento estamos sufriendo ataques por todos lados y necesitamos que el acceso a abogados sea permanente.
Right now, we are suffering attacks on all sides, and so we need this legal assistance, this access to lawyers to be permanent.
Lo necesitamos para poder proteger nuestros hogares y garantizar nuestras familias tengan un lugar donde vivir.
We needed to protect ourselves, and we needed to guarantee that our families have a place to live.
Si este recurso se elimina, muchas personas podrían terminar en la calle.
If this resource is eliminated, a lot of people could end up on the streets.
Lo cual causaría y aumentaría la crisis y la tensión que ya vivimos.
And that will only increase and add to the tension that we're already living through.
Les pedimos que al menos protejan este derecho para que más familias puedan mantenerse en sus casas y no enfrentar solas las cortes sin una defensa justa.
And so we're asking you to approve this, at least so more families can stay in their home and so that they can go to court with just defense.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
Number 32, about State House LA. Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Scott. I'm an eviction defense attorney with the California Center for Movement Legal Services. Thank you. And my work is funded by State House LA. I do want to say, though, that as an attorney doing eviction defense, I will be fined for a couple months if this is not extended. So I'm here to talk about the community-based organizations and services they provide instead, such as rental assistance and know your rights education for tenants. The simple fact of the matter is that tenants that know their rights are much less likely to end up at court because they are empowered to assert their rights and stop unscrupulous landlords in their tracks. And with regards to rental assistance keeps people in their homes because it makes it more likely for people to actually dig themselves out of the debt traps that they fall into after they've fallen on hard times. People are rent burdened, the economy is bad, it happens. There are good, hardworking people who just need an opportunity to get back on their feet. And with the rental assistance program stopped at the last couple of weeks, I've met several tenants already that would have been helped, like now cannot be. So please fund this program immediately. Thank you.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
Sorry, before you start, can you call two more names?
Cindy Morgan and Stacy Segarra Bollinger.
Sí, buenos días. Quiero hablar en el punto 32 y comentario público.
Hello, good day. I would like to talk about point 32 and also public comment.
You'll have 1 minute for each.
Mi nombre es Sofía Mendoza y soy miembro de ACE.
Hello, my name is Sofía Mendoza and I am a member of ACE.
Le pido al ayuntamiento que extienda de inmediato el contrato de State House LA por siempre, no por un año, ¿sí? Y financiar completamente el programa.
So I am asking you now, City Council, to extend the contract of Stay Housed LA today, and to do it not only for now, but forever. Adelante.
Además debería de votar a favor del punto 32.
You should also vote in favor of point 32.
Y que incluyan también en la agenda la moción del Banco Público.
And also in the agenda to include the motion for a public banking system.
Es importante que voten ya, ahora, no mañana. ¿Por qué? Porque yo soy una persona que he pasado por 2 desalojos y este programa me ha ayudado a quedarme en mi casa.
It is so important for you to act today, to act now, not tomorrow. Because I am a person who's already faced 2 evictions, and thanks to this program, I still have a place to live.
Por favor, les pido a todos los concejales que voten sí. Gracias.
So please, I ask all members of the council, vote yes. Thank you.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
All items and general public comment, please.
3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, thank you. The first item is regarding an increase for the admission price of the LA Zoo. I'm not generally opposed to increasing the admission for the zoo. I am kind of opposed to zoos in general, though. We've recently had an issue with Billy and Tina, the elephants that Mr. Blumenfeld and Mr. Nazarian rightfully introduced a council file to put them in a sanctuary because the habitat that currently exists at the LA Zoo for elephants is terrible. But unfortunately, before this council acted on that council file, they got transferred to the Tulsa Zoo. These elephants are being tortured. We've heard a lot from Councilmember Rahman about P22, but nothing about the poor elephants being tortured at the zoo, which I believe is in her district. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have zebras, rhinoceros, ocelots, jaguars, giraffes, koalas, snow leopard, tons of species of monkeys, tigers, wallabies, kangaroos. None of these species are evolved to live in Los Angeles. They shouldn't be in Los Angeles. They should be in a sanctuary somewhere, not like for people's entertainment. It's really inhumane. We should close the LA Zoo and use that land for something else. Item 31 is relative to legal services agreement with Covington and Burlington LLP to provide legal services related to federal investigation. So much of our tax dollars is going to lawyers and legal services for litigation. This motion is kind of vague. It just says a federal investigation, so I'm not quite sure what it's referring to, but it's $500,000. The city is financing lawyers. I bet this is a great town to be a lawyer in, especially if you're dealing with the city. You must be getting paid a lot. Speaking of which, we have item 32 regarding legal aid for eviction defense. Obviously, we need eviction defense. Landlords aren't known for their scruples. We have a lot of wrongful evictions. This is a step in the right direction, but again, we're spending a lot of money litigating. There's an insane amount of funding dedicated. Again, the defense services are good and needed, but ultimately those resources are being funneled up into the hands of lawyers. I wonder if we could do a better job leveraging funding like that from ULA, that only a fraction of which has been used, to create social housing and housing options that don't necessitate greedy landlords. Landlords are the reason why we have to pay all this money, because they're wrongfully evicting people, and then we have to pay lawyers to defend their tenants and keep them housed, and we make bullshit contracts like the one Ulysses tried to get her tenants to sign for Tom Botts, who lives in a Malibu mansion. Maybe landlords who don't live in LA shouldn't be able to exploit tenants in LA. You didn't stick to what you planned to meet in Van Nuys, despite significant demand for this compromise. Remember, you used to hear comments on the phone. Now that's what you should do. And pay attention, just reinstate remote comment to create better access for people who want to call in. This council couldn't care less. You know it's wrong, so do what's right. Why are you too scared to fight? Just reinstate remote comment. Remote comment. Hey, Ulysses, Heather, John Lee, what's so funny over there? Am I making y'all laugh? Is this a joke? Really? Pay attention, please. Shout out Smoke and Scan.
Pay attention.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak to?
I believe it's items 1, is it 31 and 32, as well as general public comment. This is really...
You'll have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute
really
for
high in
general
your mic,
public
just so you
comment.
know. So if whoever's working the audio. Item with the zoo, I think $5 increase isn't really a lot, but we're all hurting out here, and we already can't afford to go to Dodger games, more than once in a lifetime. We can't afford to go to anywhere, really, so that kind of sucks. Although I don't really like zoos at all. But I think we should bring back an old American tradition of the human zoo. And instead of Black and Native and Irish orphans, we should have city council members and elected officials in the zoo exhibits. We've got 15 exhibits right here. And we got some, I want to hear some ideas, you know? I want to hear, like, you know, we'll have Hugo's exhibit where he can have like pictures of different speakers, like my wife or whatever, he can look at. You know, we got Eunice can have pictures of, I'm not gonna make that kind of joke. She can have pictures of money. I'm not gonna say food, money. Tracy can have pictures of Venice. I think she has Venice Beach in her district. All right. All right, next item. Y'all gonna need a lot more than $500,000 to defend y'all from whatever the fuck is coming down the pipe. It's really a shame how y'all can have the city attorney's office defend y'all and give you advice and tell you to meet in closed session, even though the city don't trust you. So how the fuck are y'all gonna keep meeting in private, suspend the Brown Act for y'all, and contract outside legal counsel when you already are using all the city's resources to defend your asses? It's crazy. And we already know that there's an old judge y'all are dying hopes fall down the stairs or something who has, you know, y'all ass on the chopping block. So you're gonna need more than $500,000. I hear lawyers are pretty expensive, and the way that y'all contract them is gonna cost like 20 grand an hour. So you really should probably get that number up. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna need more. He's gonna have to stand up because his ass gonna be raw. It's not gonna be because he doesn't want to pay attention. The last item, I believe, is in regards to homelessness defense. Not defending homelessness, although y'all do that. It's to get legal counsel for people like that and eviction services, all that stuff. Obviously, that's good. It would cost a lot less to do that if you didn't just like raise all the fees and the taxes and all the fucking small homeowners and landowners and shit, so then they won't charge high rent to people here. You know, you really are pitting the middle class against the lower class because y'all serve the upper class. And eventually people here, I've been seeing them, they've been communicating. People you wouldn't expect. You know, MAGA hat people and people from like the more progressive leftist organizations, they're talking now. And just like over 10 years ago when Occupy and the Tea Party were coming together and y'all across the country shut us down, I was there live that night and I saw it happen. It's gonna happen. Y'all gonna try to do some shit like that again. Watch. General public comment. It's really despicable how y'all stuff your faces and make cute little faces at each other and have side conversations while people here still have the, I don't even know if it's honor anymore, but the self-disregard to still, you know, be nice to y'all. To be honest, they've already given you enough nice words. And because y'all don't listen to the beautiful people that come here, you're gonna have to listen to the ugly people that don't wanna follow the rules. And y'all don't even follow your own fucking rules, which is disgusting. You know, y'all sit up there talking back and forth all the time, like having side conversations, interrupting public comment. You know, Nithya Raman over here stuffing her face at the chair seat. You know, it's crazy. In school, you wouldn't be allowed to just be munching in the middle of geometry class. You wouldn't be allowed to be on your phone in the middle of history. You know, can we at least demand some etiquette and decorum from them over the public? The public has had enough. We're over here barely keeping it together, barely surviving. You're lucky that we come here with words. You really are, okay? You don't get, people say this shit, I'm tired of these old ass sayings like power, you know, gives nothing without demands. That's bullshit. Power gives nothing without force, okay? People come here making demands all the time, and y'all don't understand that language because you only speak the language of force. That's why you use the police against the activists, and then later on, act like you're for them. You only speak the language of force, so one day people will speak to you in that language, and that's all you'll have time to listen to.
Thank you, Speaker. Your time is up. Our final speaker, the next speaker will be our final speaker. We'll be closing public comment after this speaker. Go ahead.
Speaker, which item would you like to speak to?
Good morning. My name is Jenny Colon, and I'll be doing public comment in item 32.
Okay, you'll have 1 minute for each. Please start with item number 32.
These are critical times. I urge the council members to immediately extend the Stay House LA contract for 1 more year and fully fund the program. Without it, Angelenos will lose legal and rental assistance. The rental assistance through State House LA is the only source we have right now. Know Your Rights that educates our communities. I'm extremely fortunate. I have received legal representation that I otherwise couldn't afford. Tenants disproportionately are underrepresented legally, most of the times not at all. The legal system and courts are tricky to navigate for every Angelino. Where are we to turn if State House LA's contract is terminated? How many more of us, our children and our elderly, will become unhoused? Where will most vulnerable communities turn to? Public comment?
You have a minute.
I'm here to urge council members to contribute to the discretionary funds for the LA Public Bank. Council members from District 1, 9, 13, and 14 are leading the way and contributing their own funds. Our city is broke. It's in a financial emergency. My council member Padilla has spoken to the scarce resources in the San Fernando Valley. It's time to set up and explore a different way, one where Angelinos aren't footing a $1 million bill annually. This money deserves to be invested in the community for housing, feeding our children and elderly, and many other critical social resources. The situation is dire. Act now with urgency and conviction necessary to agendize the motion and fund the public bank now.
Thank you, Speaker. And at this time, thank you for your comments. We have taken, we're now closing public comment for all items. Sergeant, if the two individuals in the back who are yelling have been warned, if you continue to disrupt this meeting, you will be asked to leave. Clerk, what items can we vote on at this time?
Madam President, the council may now vote on item 1.
I'm sorry,
Speaker?
Sergeant, the individual who's speaking is going to be asked to leave at this time. He's already been warned.
Speaker, please stop disrupting this meeting. You've already been warned.
Sergeants, if you could
Speaker?
escort this individual out of the meeting. We do have to move on. What items can we vote on at this time?
The council may now consider item 1.
Okay, item 1.
That is correct, Madam President.
Okay, please open the roll on these items. Close the roll and tabulate the vote.
13 ayes.
Thank you. Let's move on to item 31, which was called special for a separate vote by Mr. Nazarian. Let's open the roll on item 31. Close the roll and tabulate the vote. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 1 no.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to item 32. Mr. Price, I believe you need to be recused from this item.
And for the record, Madam President, amending motion 32A, Jurado Soto Martinez, has been introduced, circulated, and posted on the bulletin board.
Okay, so let's vote on item 32 as amended. Open the roll. Oh, sorry, one moment. Oh, sorry, Councilmember Jurado, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I just want to clarify that we're going to take action on item 32A, and it's the one that's been passed out with the black font and not the red font. Does that make sense? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we're voting on item 32 as amended by amending motion 32A, introduced by Councilmembers Jurado and Soto Martinez. Let's open the roll on this item. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
Wonderful. Mr. Clerk, what's next on the agenda?
Madam President, council has motions for posting and referral.
Posted and referred.
The desk is clear.
Members, any announcements? Councilmember Nazarian.
Thank you, Council President. June marks Gun Violence Awareness Month and demands us to reflect on the devastating impact of gun violence and to commend those who are working to prevent it. I've, for the past 2 weeks, shared with everyone here about the screening of Die Like a Man that's going to be taking place today at Valley College at 2 p.m. in my district, in Council District 2. All are welcome to join. I also wanted to take a minute, though, and recognize the incredible work of individuals who contribute to making public awareness, register voters, work on campuses. In this particular case, students demand action. I had an individual who was going to be joining me today who unfortunately got stuck in traffic, and I'm assuming the security line, and wasn't able to join here. So I have a certificate that I'm going to be presenting, and I wanted to just, before losing out the month of June, to take a minute and recognize the fact that it's important for all of us to individually do whatever we can in our districts to continue raising awareness about gun violence. Despite all the craziness that's surrounding us right now, we can't fall behind on the work we've done on making sure that people are protected, and we're making everyone aware to take the precautions necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Nazarian, for that important announcement and recognition. Other members, any other announcements? Councilmember McCosker? Oh, Councilmember Hernandez, go ahead. Councilmember Hernandez, I was just joking.
Okay, thank you. I want to give an announcement today that on the 29th on Sunday is Councilmember Lee's birthday. So if we could please give him a round of applause. One of our favorite cancers here on the council. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Happy birthday, Mr. Lee. I hope you have a wonderful celebration. Amazing. Any other announcements today? Okay, seeing none, please rise for adjourning motions. Council members, any adjourning motions to my left? Any adjourning motions to my right? Councilmember Price.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, today I rise to celebrate the life of Elsa Sine Specker. Elsie was born on May the 16th, 1948. Days after celebrating her 77th birthday, Elsie lost her almost 7-year battle with ovarian cancer. Her passage, like her life, was meaningful, full of charm, and touching. As she accepted her death with the same grace that defined her life, Elsie was born and raised in L.A. to adjourning parents, Barbara Mott and Joseph Sine. It was there that she also made lifelong friends, married, raised her 2 daughters, Audrey and Joanna. Sadly, her first husband, Andrew, passed while she was very young. Elsie went on to marry William Sadler, with whom she happily shared nearly half of her life. Her extraordinary kindness and warmth are felt by all who know her. She leaves behind her husband, William, daughters Audrey, Joanna, sister Nancy, and a host of younger generations who will always know and love her as Aunt Lissy. Her passage leaves a gap in our heart, which we hope that our shared love and time will heal. May her legacy live on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Price, for that adjournment. Any other adjournments? Oh, Councilmember Park, go ahead.
Thank you, Councilwoman Rahman. Colleagues, it is with deep sadness and profound respect that I ask we dedicate today in honor of Martin Rubin. We're joined here in council by his family and friends from Mar Vista as we honor his life and legacy. Marty was a longtime advocate for environmental justice, and he was Zone 2 Director for the Mar Vista Community Council. He died on May 29th after a prolonged battle with cancer. Marty and his wife Joan were key figures in founding the Mar Vista Community Council, and they dedicated decades of their time to community activism, particularly focusing on the environmental impacts of the Santa Monica Airport. As co-founder and director of Concerned Residents Against Airport Pollution, funnily nicknamed CRAP, For nearly 20 years, he worked tirelessly to address air and noise pollution from private air traffic. His efforts brought together city, state, and federal officials, as well as community leaders and activists to advocate for cleaner air and safer living conditions in Mar Vista and Santa Monica. Marty wasn't just an activist, he was a visionary, the Mar Vista Community Council has said about him. His leadership in CRAP raised awareness about the health and environmental risks of airport emissions, organizing campaigns, rallies, and educational sessions to engage the public. His collaborative approach built coalitions among residents, elected officials, environmental groups, and he helped create a strong network for change. Before joining the Mar Vista Community Council Board, Marty served 8 years as president of the North Westdale Neighborhood Association, and he later ran for Zone 2 director. He was always driven by a commitment to represent all of his stakeholders. His work earned respect from community members and officials, including Mayor Bass, Congressman Liu, and myself. I got to know Marty several years ago, and as we rolled up our sleeves, diving into community issues, he was always a great friend and a great mentor to me. My Mar Vista Field Deputy, Matt Halden, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with Marty in the hospital before he passed. And in the hour we spent, he continued to talk about the things he cared most passionately about, advocating for his friends and neighbors in Mar Vista and for a cleaner, healthy environment for all those that he loved and cared about. Beyond his activism, he was proud to be a great son, brother, and uncle. He's survived by his brother, Jerry Rubin, also an activist who is with us this morning in council. Marty was also preceded in death by his beloved wife, Joan, who passed away from cancer just 1 month before Marty died. He was also predeceased by his older brother, Bob, who passed from cancer more than a decade ago. Marty's legacy reflects his passion for improving Mar Vista quality of life and protecting the environment, and his dedication will live on through the continued efforts to support the Santa Monica Great Park Coalition. May he rest in peace, and may his legacy continue to inspire those of us who believe in doing the right thing for the communities we serve, even in difficult times.
Thank you, Councilmember Park, for that adjournment, and our deepest condolences to the Mar Vista community that's come out today to honor his memory. Thank you for being here. Any other adjournments, members? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Today that the older adults, the volunteers, everyone that's here walks away with a new appreciation of different cultures, of fun experience, activities, dancing, and just a great time.
Good food and good entertainment. They have a picture taking. We didn't have to pay for it. Their blood, we didn't have to pay for it. And then they bring a lot of stuff to offer us.
I was so excited to be part of this event because it really brought together not only staff, older adults and caregivers, but also volunteers from across Los Angeles to really make an impact in people's lives. And it was so inspiring and has been such a rewarding experience.
Feels good because we need more things for us older people.
So the senior prom was brought together through not only donations from companies, individuals, but also through funding from the Department of Aging and the City of Los Angeles. We're really honored to have the General Manager, Jaime Pacheco, attend, and also Councilperson Nithya Raman. Their support made this possible and made this event a real success.
Beautiful people, nice to see everybody happy.
So my favorite part of prom really has been seeing everybody dressing up, having a good time, and dancing. I love to dance myself. It might seem like it's just a dance, but for them, it's something they look forward to all year long.
So come out and enjoy yourself. To see what it's like, you will love it. I love it.
The lights behind the marquee are a distinct beacon on Lancashire Boulevard. Behind the scenes, this Department of Cultural Affairs Center is supporting performing arts in the community with a dance studio and an intimate theater space inside.
The Lancashire Arts Center was constructed in 1939. When it was opened in 1939, it was originally a LA Department of Water and Power building. The city of LA became the owner of the Lancashire Arts Center when it was declared as a historical cultural monument. On the plaque, its purpose was that it is an example of adaptive reuse. The front building is actually an example of streamlined modern design. And then if you come here after, I think it's like 5 or 6 o'clock, there's like lighting panels that will turn on, and then you get to see the full kind of marquee of the Lancashire Arts Center. We host a bevy of productions, be it dance productions, music productions. Sometimes we'll have a film screening, art. I think that sort of flexibility is something that brings me back every time. The theater is very intimate here. It really feels like you're just right up in front of the talent when you come watch a show here. We also do youth programming here. We work with different local artists to be able to provide free programming for children to learn how to sew. We have a fashion class. We have music classes specifically for percussion and drums. We also have another music class for piano. And then we also have a dance studio. It's in our mezzanine. That is for our dance class that we have here. Our mission here is just to grow the performing arts, really. So whether it be someone trying to bring out their own original productions, or like sometimes we even have different groups come in to teach after-school classes. Being able to grow the performing arts in a community is what makes Lancashire Arts Center stand out. The city investing into places like this is because it gives a place for people that were not as confident